Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Street Champs. Quick shout out to our sponsors, Rocky Mountain Blaze. Mention Street Champs at Rocky Mountain Blaze and get 5% off your entire order. Yeah. All right, tonight we got SoCo Drip Co in the house tonight.
Sir.
How you doing today, bro?
How you doing, man? I'm doing pretty good. What about you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Thanks for coming.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Of course,
bro.
bro.
I like what you got going on over here.
Hell yeah.
It's dope.
I like what you have going on at your place,
I
bro.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Hell yeah. So tell the people a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Jasiah Williams. I'm the owner of SoCo Drip Co downtown Pueblo off 5th Street. A lot of you guys been there. It's also the word is still getting out. It's a hype store. So we have like all the Bape, V-Lone, Supreme, Antisocial, and of course all the retros, SBs, Dunks, and stuff like that. So it's a pretty dope little store we have over there. It's one of the first ones down here in Southern Colorado, especially Pueblo. And it's dope. I mean, I like what we have going. A lot of people like it, and something that kind of brought to the city that I think has been good so far. So,
Hell yeah. Much needed.
Yeah, definitely was. Bro.
For sure.
It's dope though.
Mm-hmm. When did you guys start that storefront?
We opened it, I would say probably like 5 months ago, I'd say about now.
Mm-hmm.
We opened about 5 months ago. At first we kind of started it, it's like a hobby. It was we're initially from Portland, Oregon. So that's obviously the home of Nike. Everything, like that's a culture out there, like shoes, clothes, like all that hype stuff. That's just like secondhand out there. Like everybody has retros. You go to any mall, anything, grandmas, moms, aunties, everybody has
Really?
those type of retros on here, all everywhere. So the thing is we moved out here. I moved out here like 2 years ago. And so I initially moved out here for the Olympic Training Center. I wrestled with the USA team and whatnot. And so that's what initially brought me out to Colorado, and then came down here, finished my degree and whatnot. And I've always been into shoes, clothes, and hypewear. And I noticed there was like nothing down here really. Like anything, you got to go further up north to kind of get anything like that. You know what I mean? And everybody down here, you would be surprised. But there's a lot of people down here that are sneakerheads, love shoes and that type of stuff. That's just like, dude, we end up kind of, like I said, started off as a hobby. And then kind of just turned into like, oh shoot, this is actually dope, and it turned out to something pretty good. So, but yeah, I would say about 5 months ago is when we opened it, and when we kind of just made our way out here and stuff. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Oregon, you said?
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about your life growing up. What do you like?
Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon. Gosh. Portland, Oregon. I grew up there my whole life, really. I was born and raised there. I moved out here, like I said, probably 3 years ago, I think it was. Moved out here to Colorado, and over there, like I said, as far as just like the sneakers and the hype wear, anything like that, dude, it was like a culture out there. So I grew up literally. I mean, I remember I started hustling, flipping shoes when I was in 8th grade, dang near. I was my first pair of shoes. I'll make a little bit of money off this one, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of obviously went up from there. But that was the thing that was just like, you did that there, like shoes and clothes. That stuff was just so relevant there. Like it was something that everybody did and had. But growing up, I played sports my whole life too. I played football and wrestled my whole life growing up. And like I said, realistically, that's what brought me out here to Colorado was wrestling. Initially, I also played football up at the college and whatnot too. But wrestling is what brought me out here to Colorado. It's brought me all over the world, and I love that.
Hell yeah.
Sport. It's a love-hate relationship with wrestling, I'll tell you that. But it brought me out to Colorado, and pretty much brought me out to what I'm doing now. I mean, I've met so many cool people in the just throughout. I mean, from everywhere through the sport of wrestling. You know what I mean? So yeah, realistically, like I said, as far as like growing up out there, as far as like the streetwear, clothes and stuff, a lot. I mean, it's everywhere out there. You know what I mean? And then when I came out here, it was kind of even like a shock a little bit, because like you go somewhere, you don't see a lot of people wearing that type of stuff. You do certain places, certain times, but it's not like every day you just walk and see someone wearing retros or some type of hype wear. You know what I mean? You don't really see that a lot. So it's kind of like, whoa. And then like, of course, you run into your people that do and whatnot, but definitely moving out here from somewhere like that, the home of Nike, back home in Oregon, it was definitely like, oh gosh, these people are a little bit catching up to do compared to Oregon.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would say Colorado's definitely kind of late on the hype wear.
yeah.
I never heard that term before, actually, until now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hype wear.
Yeah, they did hype wear. Like I said, the thing is, it's definitely growing out here. I mean, one day at a time, it's growing, especially from where we started with our store to where we're at now. We've grew, like, I mean, the amount of like people and the community and stuff that know about it now and that are wearing cool shoes and stuff like that, clothes and stuff like that. I mean, it's just growing every single day, starting up. I mean, of course, up in Denver. Shout out to also all the sneaker shops up there. They have some dope ones up there. Go check them out. Culture Street, Vices, and all those places up there. But those are up in bigger cities, you know what I mean? When you start moving down further south, there's not really, I mean, you run into now. There's also one at, it's in the Citadel Mall, I believe. It's Hype on Site, pretty dope. I just actually stopped by there yesterday. Shout out to Hype on Site too. All you guys up there doing your thing, it's dope. And like I said, moving your way more down south, we were the first ones down here, and now we're in Pueblo, Colorado. You know what I mean? So it's definitely growing and getting bigger. I mean, we have people come from New Mexico. I mean, all over to come down. La Junta, is that how you say it? Or is it
I think it's La Junta.
La Junta.
Yeah.
If I said it wrong, please forgive me. But
Let them know in the comments.
Yeah, let me know. Down there, like people every day. We had someone come today from like always they're coming down. And like I said, compared to coming from New Mexico or somewhere like that, you got to drive 4 hours to get up to Denver to go into somewhere like that. So now it's also like we have a lot of people coming down, driving only 45 minutes to an hour and a half to come down to our store. You know what I mean? So it's definitely growing and spreading, and it's definitely getting bigger. Like I said, the hype wear and that kind of just image out here and that stuff, it's getting bigger, and I think it's dope, and I like that we're also helping to be part of that. You know what I mean? Especially where we come from, it's a huge thing out there. So
hell yeah. How old are you?
I just turned, well, actually, no, I always say just turned, but I'm 23. So in 6 months, I guess I turned 23. So 5-6 months I turned 24, but I'm 23 years old.
Hell yeah. I'm 24.
Yeah, so 24. Oh yeah, so we're in same era. We always talk crap on our era. I don't know why, but
No, it's the golden era. It's the greatest era.
Oh yeah.
But so you've been into hype wear your whole life, basically.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, realistically, this stuff is expensive. You know what I mean? But it's definitely something I've always, even like growing up, I've always had kind of like a desire, like an eye for fashion. I've always grown up, like even in high school, middle school, I always would make my own jeans, make my own shirts, put outfits together. Like I would always do that. Middle school, high school. I mean, I still, till this day, I'll sit here and mess around and cut shirts in half, sew them back together, jeans, paint on them, paint shoes, just whatever. Like I said, I've always loved like kind of just like that fashion side of the world, that kind of like this was kind of my way of kind of to enter it. I mean, I don't necessarily design clothes or anything like that. I could, and it's something that I think would kind of be cool. But as far as like just that fashion world, like that whole thing, it's dope. You know what I mean? Like how like just like this, the hype wear that I'm talking about, there's so much, like especially the ones that have so much art behind it, you know what I mean? There's so much history behind every single shoe, and like there's a meaning behind pretty much every single shoe, that it's like when you really get to like know, or like not get to know, but like when you figure out like the history behind this shoe or that shoe, you know what I mean? It's like dope. It's like, oh dang, there's actually like a piece of history behind the shoe, you know what I mean? To where it's like, it's just the whole aspect of it's dope. As far as, like I said, that hype wear, shoes, clothes scene, it's dope. And I've always been into fashion, so it kind of played hand in hand. So
Who's some of your I would say like fashion inspirations or design inspirations?
see, as far as that's hard. I really like Virgil Off-White. He's dope. I like the stuff that he makes, and he has a really creative mind. I'm not saying everything he does is dope, because he has some stuff I'm like, what the heck? But for the most part, he's probably one of the ones that, he's probably one of the ones I think are, he's up there. I like Virgil Off-White. He does really good with this stuff. It's always different, you know what I mean? And I've always been kind of different, honestly. I like different stuff. I've wore different stuff to where people like, oh shoot, you know what I mean? Where if I like it, I'm gonna wear it, you know what I mean? So I definitely think Virgil, I just love how he can, when he gets his hand on something, and what he twists and turns it to, it's always usually dope, because he just always has like that different kind of mind. Like he'll get, just anything really, and all the stuff he makes is dope. So I think probably Virgil is probably the one that I would say is probably the best up there right now, at least for me.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah, I think a lot of people look up to him right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Have you
dope.
seen his new fitteds?
No, I haven't. See, that's one thing too. Also, a lot of people have been talking about we should get fitteds in the store. We've been debating it on it and whatnot. I've never been a big hat guy. Truly, you see these beautiful curls. I'm just kidding. But I've always had, like, even young, I've always had long hair, like curly hair, and like even still, I've had just like enough hair to where I've always like, I feel like when I throw on hats, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't need to be wearing a hat. Like, I've never really been into hats too much, but I kind of been starting to getting into them, and they're dope. You know what I mean? But I have not seen his new fitteds that he's had. I haven't really been into hats long enough for it yet.
They have like
Ow!
oh, my bad, bro.
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
just brought it up here just for to bite you. No, they have like bullet holes in them, or like they look like holes or something. It's kind of weird.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen those.
Let's check
yet,
them out.
actually.
ZZ, get the fuck out of here.
ZZ. Trying to make her 15 minutes of fame guest appearance.
But
Too fast for you. That's funny.
How funny. Fuck. Damn, I hate when she comes up here. She just fucking distracts me all crazy. But so in this short, you said 5 months.
Yeah.
You say like every single day you see more people kind of like making the conscious effort to learn more about like hypewear and stuff like that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely from where, like I said, the first month till now, like I said, we get every single day we get new people. And sort of like, oh, it's my first time in the store. Oh, I just heard about you guys, or you know what I mean? So it's like it's definitely spreading. And as well as, like I said, a lot of people come in. And like I said, people will come in, we'll hang. Like, we're not in there just like, we come in, you can hang out, we'll talk to you. If you have any question about anything, like, we're sitting there, we'll hang out with people. Like, it's a dope environment, kind of also something that's dope for the community as well. Oh, gosh.
So, you run this business with your brother, right?
Yeah, so me and my brother, he unfortunately wasn't able to be here tonight. He had to take care of some other stuff. We had other businesses and stuff we have and run, and he wasn't able to make it. But me and my brother, we both own that store, and it's dope.
Oh, yeah.
And really, I love doing business with my brother. He's always been my best friend. Like growing up, we've always, I mean, he's all in, like he's been like, I have a very, very great dad. Love my dad, but my brother's also been like a second dad, not in that aspect, but second dad in the aspect, like, of course your brother relationship is different than your parent relationship. You know what I mean? And he's helped me out with a lot in life. He's helped guide me ways. He's helped me show me right from wrong. He's always been like a go-getter type to where he's made me step out of my comfort zone sometimes. So where it's like, oh shoot. But like I said, we make it out to be what it needs to be. You know what I mean? And, he definitely, like I said, he's always been like kind of like a second. I like I said, I have an amazing dad, not in that part, but just another part. He's always been like a second, like father figure to me, and that's because since we've been kids, been like this. You know what I mean? Like together from fishing, hunting. I mean, going to the store, playing games, video games. I mean, everything we've ever done, we've always dang near done together. So,
that's really nice.
Me and him do that together, and so it's dope that we're being able to kind of do something like what we're doing together and making a dope, like at least a positive impact as far as, or at least trying to in the community, you know what I mean, and bringing something here that hasn't been here before. So
How old is he?
He's gonna hate me for this. What do you guys, everybody thinks people actually typically think I'm older. Why? I have no clue. We are actually 7 years apart. He's 30 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's 30 years old.
He's punching the air right now. Like,
exactly.
Oh, why'd you say that?
It. No, he's really 25. I'm just kidding. No, he's 30 years old. He just turned 30. He's definitely quite older than me. Like 7 years. But a lot of people, anytime we go anywhere, they're always, we have some people like, oh my gosh, you guys look like twins. And we have other people that are like, oh, you guys look nothing alike. And then we have people like, oh, you look older. And I look older and he's the younger one. It's like, wait, what? Where is this coming from, dude? But yeah, he's older than me. He's 30 years old. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
shout out him, man. Wish you could have made.
Yeah, me
made
too.
It. Maybe another time.
Oh yeah, exactly another time.
Hell yeah, for sure. So you guys have always been pretty close. Did you grow up with both parents?
Yeah, both parents. We grew up with both parents, and we also have a super dope, close relationship with our parents. I mean, our dad as well. Talking about shoe game, he's the one that got us on the shoes. To be completely honest, I remember growing up, and the thing that's also where like my dad, he always like a lot of people kind of get caught around the hype and only wear like what's cool or what people think is cool. My dad growing up always bought and wore what he liked. No matter, like my dad, I remember seeing closets full of 50 plus pair of shoes growing up. You know what I mean? He had every single shoe you could think of. I mean, it didn't matter if it was Jordans. It didn't matter if it was Adidas, K-Swiss. I mean, anything, New Balance. Always had dope shoes. And that's one thing that, I mean, of course, it's your pops. You're like, oh, shoot, he always had shoes. You love shoes. You always, for your birthday or Christmas, dad has shoes. You want shoes. You know what I mean? So I would definitely give him credit in the aspect of he's the one that really probably got us on the shoes, really. Put the credit where it's due, but he's the one that kind of, got us in the shoes. Even now till this day, This guy, and the worst part is, I hate it because shoes are meant to be worn. Like, check these out. Travis Scott's on, boom.
Oh, that's
dope. Like, I'll crease these shoes. You know what I mean? Like, check this out. A lot of people won't do this, but look at this.
Holy
like,
shit!
These are expensive shoes, but shoes are meant to be worn, dude. My dad.
It's a controversial shoe right now, bro.
I know it is controversial. I mean, should have put that back. Actually, I'm just kidding, but that's why I crunched it. I'm just kidding, but that's a hard topic. Honestly, it's hard where people put it, but my dad, like I was saying, he has so much heat. I mean, he has a lot of shoes, and he will not wear those things. He wears like 2-3 pairs of shoes. He'll rotate and he will not wear his shoes. Why? I don't know. It bothers me. And he'll buy every shoe though. He wants them. And he just puts them as a collection item. But he'll never wear the shoes. Why? It's not even that I think it's not like he's all worried about getting them dirty or not. But he doesn't wear his shoes, and it bothers me. It's like, gosh dang it, Dad, because he has closets full of shoes, brand new. I mean, a lot of shoes, and doesn't ever wear them.
He's probably gonna pass them down to you, bro.
Yeah, right. He's gonna take those with him. I've been trying to. Thing is in our store getting like Bigfoot like sizes, like 12 and up, 13. We can get them, but it's not as easy as getting like the common size. You know what I mean? That they probably don't produce as many or bigger sizes, or whatever way it does trickle down to. It's not easier getting bigger sizes. Every time we go back home, we try to buy like Dad. Let us buy the ones you don't want his because he wears size 13, bigger foot. Where he has all like the money size for shoes that are heat. Dad's like never wanting to sit and collect the dust, and he does not won't sell them to us. Want nothing. Like nope, just likes to look at them. I guess I don't know. I never got it, but
no, I bet maybe one day that's gonna be the family heirloom, like his sneaker collection.
I mean, realistically, yeah, at some point, but. I mean, at that point, I'm still just gonna keep them in the closet. I won't be able to. I just display those things. But yeah, he has a lot of shoes. Like I said, he's really the one that probably got us into this. He, he would have like Fat Farm shoes. Like you remember Fat Farm?
Yeah.
No, not Fat Farm. Fat Albert. Why I say Fat Farm?
I know Fat Albert. Yeah. I don't know what Fat Farm is.
Fat Farm is actually a brand, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. I don't know. Scratch that. Fat Albert is what I meant. He had like shoes where he had like what's his name?
Muckmouth?
Muckmouth. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Like he's on the side. Fat Albert. All those shoes where you see those shoes and you see someone wearing that, you're like, dude, what the heck? What are you wearing?
Yeah.
But he would wear them all the time. He loved them. I mean, I remember those were the main ones that stuck out to me as a kid because I loved that. But he had, just everything he liked. Any shoe he liked, you get, whether it was dope to someone else or the world or whatever it is. Like I said, a lot of people get caught up like, oh, it's not cool, I won't wear it, or like, oh, if it's not this, I'm not. Whatever he liked, he wore. And I remember, like I said, he had so many shoes growing up. Hell
yeah! Is he still in Oregon?
Yeah, they still live out in Oregon. Only me and my brother live out here. As far as we have our other brothers and stuff like that, but we were the two like that initially moved out here. And then we had like family follow and stuff like that. But as far as our parents stuff still live out there.
How many brothers do you have or sisters?
We have quite a bit. Well, the thing is we have like, when I say at this point, like we have, when the thing is how we put it, it's like if you're our brother, if it's like family, whether it's like literal, you know what I mean? Like to where if it might not actually be same mom, same dad, but you're our brother, to where it's family, to where pretty much we have, I would say, like 3 other brothers and 1 sister. So 3 other brothers, 1 sister. They live out here for the most part. And like I said, those are people like whether my parents like adopted in or we took care of, whatever it was. Like I said, those are my brothers. You know what I mean? So I guess 3 other ones and 1 sister.
For sure. Yeah. Hell yeah. Are they involved in the family business at all?
Yeah, they either have their own businesses. Like I said, so my brother owns a construction business. Our 2 other brothers run help my brother run that construction business, and our other brother, I have also a car lot out here. Me and my business partner, and he helps me with cars. He's always been in the cars and whatnot. He also kind of has his own little business stuff he does. But we're also we're about to open up another business and stuff like that. And he just kind of got out here not too long ago, but he helps me out. Like we all help each other out with stuff, get people working. So we're all involved. Like we have businesses and we're all involved. We keep our family involved to where like we just want everybody to be successful, really, especially people within our family and whatnot. So they're all pretty much involved in business some way, somehow. You know what I mean? So
The entrepreneur spirit,
exactly,
is in the,
exactly.
is in the fam.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. So story about that actually. My grandpa. Crazy story. So he beat a lot of odds. Let's just say. So my grandpa, he didn't come at all from a wealthy family at all. Very poor, and he had my mom at 13 years old.
Oh wow.
He was on his own at that point. Had my mom, single dad at 13 years old.
Oh shit.
And he was actually one of the first dudes in Oregon to win custody over their child. This dude is insane. But my mom said she remembers my grandpa. Literally, when I say no joke, he would go and he just was a hustler. He would go and buy donuts from the store and go to every single like shop that's like whatever shops, like whether it's machine shop, foundry, whatever, buy them for 25 cents, sell them to everybody for 50 cents. He would go buy windmills from the stores, go from house to house, pushing my mom in a stroller, buying them for 5 cents, selling them for 25 cents. You know what I mean? He just was a straight hustler. My mom said she remembers when she was younger, he was doing that. Like he was a straight hustler. And now he owns 3 multi-million-dollar businesses. And put it in this perspective, had my mom, single dad, 13 years old, didn't finish 8th grade, and runs probably 3 multi-million-dollar businesses. This man's a very, very successful man, and it's all been off hard work and determination. The man didn't finish 8th grade. There's half the time the man still wants me to read this email for me, and it's like, oh, you want me to read the email for you, Pops? You know what I mean? But yeah. he, like I said, he literally didn't finish 8th grade, but when I say he was a hustler, he's a hustler. He's a businessman. Like I said, he owns back home. He owns Portland Manufacturing, Portland Foundry, and then Portland Commercial Finishing. He owns Portland Industrial Services. He's just always been a hustler, to where that's one thing we've seen growing up, and also as well as like it's just kind of in the blood. Like a lot of that hustle, it's just kind of like not really something you can teach, really. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily something like a lot of people want to hustle, and a lot of people want to do something, but a lot of it's in you or not. It's like some people have dog in them, some don't. You know what I mean? It's either in you or it's not. You know what I mean? And he definitely, my grandpa was, when I say a hustler, he's a hustler.
Hell yeah.
Like he's very successful, and he had all the odds against him. You know what I mean? And even a lot of people think like he's the type of, you get it on your own. Like you better get it figured out. Like him, like he's a very successful person, and he did it all on his own. You know what I mean? And he does real estate, owns a bunch of houses. Like he's a very successful person, but till this day, he's not a handout. If you want anything, you work for it. Cause that's the way he was raised, and that's how he did it. Everything he has now, he worked for. You know what I mean? So it don't matter. Typically you think, oh, Papa, like let me get $100. You know what I mean? Well, come down. You better come work 10 hours worth of work, and he will not hand. And the thing is, I remember like being younger and stuff. We'd be like, man, you'd always, oh, he has so much money. Like, why can't you? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I just want $100 or something. And you would tell you have to come work for it. And you literally, it wasn't no like, oh yeah, come down and work here. No, you actually work. You put the time down, what time you work for, exactly, and then you'll get the money. And he was like that. You know what I mean? When you're younger, I was like, oh my gosh, like this sucks. But now I can't thank him enough, because he till this day taught us so much. Like in that aspect of like, what you work for is what you get. You know what I mean? As hard as you work, as hard as you're going to get. Whatever you put in is what you're going to get out of it. And if you want anything, you have to work hard, because the next person wants the same thing. You know what I mean? And you're going to have to work harder than the next person to be that, because then you're also going to have that person next to you that's going to work just as hard to try to be. You know what I mean? It's not everybody can be at top. And the simplest, dumbest saying that people say, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And that's the most, like, it's true. Like, everyone wants to be a millionaire or successful or do this, be in the NFL, NBA, but there's that certain amount of people that really do it, and that comes with a lot of hard work and effort. You know what I mean? And that's one thing, like I said, I know for sure we learned from my grandpa. I think until this day that he definitely taught us, like, anything you want, like I said, you got to work for it. So everything we have now, whatever, we literally built from the ground up. No handouts, no nothing. It was completely from the ground up. We made it happen. You know what I mean? So
hell yeah, man, that's very honorable.
Yeah.
That's true. Most people want to be successful. They just look at other people's highlights. They're not looking at the background story of the sleepless nights.
Not at all.
All the hard work that went into most everything that people do.
Yeah, not at all. And that's where, like I said, also kind of plays into the aspect of like sports. Wrestling, like I said, it's a love-hate relationship. But like I said, me and my brother, we both initially moved down here. We trained at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs for the USA team. We wrestled and stuff. And wrestling is a sport that it will teach you so much about yourself, to where like self-discipline, hard work. Like there's no other sport that I can even match to the amount of wrestling type of like mental toughness it takes to wrestle, when you gotta cut 15, 20 pounds in 3-4 days. And then you still gotta go out and perform an hour later after weighing. You know what I mean? Like the type of mental toughness it takes and hard work to, even like I said, do the sport of wrestling. A lot of people won't really realize until you step in and do it. And then you're like, oh, but like I said, that what I learned, and my brother would say the same thing, mimic me what I'm saying, but the hard work and self-control, the discipline that I've learned from wrestling has brought me, and even like my brother, all of us, to where we're at now, to where we are able to, like I said, as far as like outwork, work hard, work ethic, like keep our head down and keep it going. I learned all that from, like, because when times get going hard, a lot of people kind of shy back off, you know what I mean? When one little storm hits, you know what I mean? But from wrestling, that's one thing, like I said, that taught us. It's like, there ain't no backing down, there ain't no stopping, you know what I mean? Like you go. And that's one thing, like wrestling taught us how to work really, really hard. Out, you gotta, I mean, wrestling, it's one-on-one. It's not a team where like football, where you have to count on your other team to make their play so your play will work. It's me and you, we step face to face, you know what I mean? And it's time to go. Who worked harder is gonna show on the mat. So it's the same thing. Like you can take that mentality into like businesses and entrepreneurship. It's showed us, I mean, I wouldn't trade the world for anything. And then, like I said, wrestling sucks a little bit as far as just cutting weight and all that. But it's taught us so much as far as like hard work ethic and stuff like that, to where, I mean, like I said, we're ready to do whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What years did you wrestle for Team USA?
So when I first moved out here, was actually, this is a little bit funny story. So actually my, going into my junior year of high school, I got invited down to the Olympic Training Center, and I was down here training, and I came down in and out of here in the Olympic Training Center, came in and out. And then going into my senior year, I got offered to move down here. They were going to move me down here full time, so I would have to forfeit my senior year of high school back home in Oregon, moved down to Colorado, and I would have wrestled strictly for the USA team, international and all that stuff. But I would have to forfeit my senior year of high school, move away from home, like all that stuff. And I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was a homebody. And at first, I mean, that was scary to me. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was a little shook up. Like, the last person that really did that was Henry Cejudo. That's like, I'm bad with names, but he was the last one that did that at the same high school and stuff. He was the last one that, and look, he was an Olympic champ, UFC champ, you know what I mean? He was the last one he moved out here and committed his full time to Olympic Training Center. He wrestled, and then that's where they made the rule where, like, if you train at the Olympic Training Center full time, you couldn't compete in high school no more. And so that was going into my senior year. I came out here, and then it's a high school up called Coronado High School up in Springs. That's where I was gonna go, and I met the principals. I met all the teachers. I went there with my USA, like all the USA coaches. I went there. I took a whole tour of the school, got all the packets and everything, and last minute I backed out. I was like, man, honestly, I'm not ready to leave home. Kind of scared. It was a little. I didn't really want to do it, to be honest. And then so next year or two, whatever, I was in and out of the Olympic training here in Colorado and back home. I'd come back and forth, especially like in the summers. I was out here a lot training, and then we'd have our tournaments and whatnot. And then finally, 3 years ago, whatever, when I moved out to Colorado full time, I moved out here initially to I went full time at the Olympic Training Center, but when I got down here, I didn't tell the USA coach. I didn't tell him that I was gonna, because I had to finish college too. I was like, man, I want to go to school. I want to finish college. Like, I don't want to just put that on the back burner, because I would have to do online school at the Olympic Training Center. We just wouldn't, like, that's a whole job. Like, it's full time. You're wrestling full time, nonstop going. You know what I mean? To where when I moved out here, I was at the Olympic Training Center or whatever wrestling. And I told the college down here, CSU Pueblo, that, oh yeah, I'm gonna come. Like, yeah, I pretty much told them, like, sign. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come down here, finish my degree, wrestle with you guys a little bit, blah, 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 blah. Well, I never told my USA coach that. Those two coaches met for lunch one day or whatever, and the coach down here showed the coach that I was on the roster. And he was like, what the heck? Why is Jasiah on there? And that's how I got introduced to him, that wasn't good. You know what I mean? That I kind of that I was also going to still be at the college rest, you know, because the thing is, like I said, at the Olympic Training Center, it's a full-time thing. We practice 2 times a day. every day of the week. Like it's a full time, like it's not just like something you do on the side, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, you're competing for the United States. Anytime you go international or anything like that, you're competing for the United States, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a full-time job. So it's not something that I could dabble in and out of. But the thing is also, when I got down here, I was like, dude, I got to finish my degree. I got to go finish school. Like, I don't want to just put that on the back burners. And plus I was majoring in political science pre-law, so where as like an actual degree, I couldn't really just BS. I actually got to pay attention and do, because I initially wanted to be a lawyer. To be honest, that was my first thing. I wanted to be a lawyer. But that was my initial thing. And then pretty much that's when I was at the school, and then just the last years I've been I train at the training center sometimes, back and forth, and then that's pretty much what it was. So realistically, I've been training there ever since like my junior year of high school. So I probably was like 17 years old, I think.
Wow.
17, 18.
Yeah.
And then up to now, like I said, I've been super busy with business and stuff, and it's been doing a lot to where I've kind of laid back. The thing is, I could still do it, and I still could compete through even like the next Olympic cycle through 2024. But I've been super busy with business and doing pretty good with it and whatnot, to where it's like, man, I'm not gonna lie, it's like it's a hard game to dabble with, because that's a full time thing you got to do. And also this type of business, if I try to do it at first, I dabble in and out, but I just lost out on so many opportunities, money, just stuff, to where it's like, dude, I kind of got to pick one. And it was kind of like, I've done, and it's like a lot of people are like, man, you got but not a lot of people get the opportunity. Like, you should do it. But then also there's a lot of people that, like, it's hard because like a lot of people don't really realize, like you said, the hard work that's behind it. They just see kind of like you getting to travel, like the cool stuff and like whatever it is as far as wrestling has to offer. They see like the cool like tournaments, and you're here, or you're there, or whatever it may be. They don't see that, man, we're in there dying 2 days, twice a day, all week, you know what I mean? Finally cutting weight and then competing. You don't have time to do something. Like, I tried to dabble at first, but then it would take away from like doing business stuff. And then it would also, doing business stuff would take away from doing
definitely, yeah,
wrestling stuff. So it was like a hard game, to where honestly within the last probably not even year, I've kind of pulled back a little bit from here, and kind of been a little bit ready to take the next chapter of my life, you know what I mean? And like I said, I got super busy with business and been doing really good, to where it's like I've been just taking off with it, to be honest.
Yeah, so, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
yeah, it's awesome. Do you like wrestle or fight on your spare time, just to train?
It's so funny. A lot of people, like, you go play basketball for fun. Like, we probably can we always go and play basketball, just like later in the afternoons. It's fun. Go play basketball. Maybe sometimes flag football, touch football, whatever people play, or go play frisbee. Those are all sports. You know what I mean? People play those sports. Wrestling is not something you just want to go do for fun. At least I know that. Yeah. You don't want to go in there.
That makes sense.
Like, the practices it's sweaty, it's hot. Like, it's just, you're man-to-man wrestling. Like, it's a full-on, it's just me versus you know what I mean? To where it's like, you don't necessarily go just wrestle for fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm involved in the world. Like, there's been like, I still, every day I sit up at night thinking like, man, I know what I could do in the wrestling world. I know if I put my full undivided attention to it, I could do something serious. But it's just like, it's hard. It's not something you can dibble and dabble, like dib in, dabble out, you know what I mean? It's not
definitely.
something you can do like that, to where it was hard. But like I said, it's not something you really just kind of like go do for fun. But I'm definitely involved in like the whole world of wrestling, fight and stuff like that. We actually sponsored a fight out here, Jasiah Diggs. Shout out to him as well. He's doing really well.
Shout out Jasiah.
He's 5-0. He's a fighter out here. But we're just all involved in that world as far as fighting and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, to where like training, or if he ever needs help maybe in wrestling or a partner, I can go and step in and help. My brother trains him predominantly. My brother's his trainer, fighting. And so like, my brother fought professionally too, all over the world. Like, we've always been in that atmosphere of like combat. We've always done it and been in that world, you know what I mean? So we're still involved in it, but not necessarily kind of just doing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're definitely trying to like you said, take the next chapter in your life, put your full effort into that, and that's commendable. That's respectable for sure.
Exactly.
What is that next chapter in your life? What do you think?
Chapter, I mean, really, is just I've been really focusing on not even so much like next chapter, but I mean, I just not even next chapter, but kind of just like the change of like, I've been wrestling since I was 3-4 years old. I've been wrestling my whole life. Every single Saturday we're at tournaments. I mean, all the way up until this last year is the first time. It's honestly, I've kind of been a little burnt out of it, to be honest. But also then again, it's like I start I started like, I've always knew like, well, at first I wanted to be a lawyer. And then I started doing stuff kind of like on my own, to where like I start doing stuff to where it's like, shoot, like a lot of people don't realize when you do something like that, you kind of put a cap on yourself. Like as far as, say I want to be a teacher, nothing wrong with it, nothing against teachers, but say like a teacher or whatever, just whatever job to where you're making $50K a year, maybe you make 80, maybe you make 90, maybe you make 40, you know what I mean? You're kind of, but the thing is that the one thing that bothers me is there's a cap to it, you know what I mean? So say I know if I'm going to be I do this job, and this job is going to pay me $45,000 a year. I know no matter what, at the end of this year, I'm only going to make $45,000. Being an entrepreneur, that's endless. You can make $45K in a day if you want. You know what I mean? There's people like, if someone else can do it, I know dang well I can do it. And that's how I am, to where, and I know, like, so like I said, someone else is going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I know I definitely, whether it comes hard work, effort, if I got to move to Africa and sell houses, that's what I got to do. That's what I'm going to do. If that's what it takes to be successful, that's what I'm going to do to be successful. I just know that's what it takes. And like the thing, I learned a lot of that from wrestling. I know it don't take just going to practice in the afternoons. I mean, in high school, I remember when I'm over here, I'm winning state and stuff, I'm waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning, going and running. Why? Because I know 95, probably 99% of everybody else, my other competition, they're probably sleeping right now. I would wake up at 3 in the morning and go run. 5 in the morning, then I would go and wrestle at the college that we had near where I'm from. There was a college there. I went and wrestled at the college, and then I would go to school, have my practice in the afternoon, go to the college practice again. You know what I mean? I just knew what it's going to take. I mean, because I try to skate by a lot of times with like, oh, I'm just going to go to my practice here and not really put in the extra work, to where I fell short a few things on some stuff. But when you realize like, man, it's going to take more than just doing the norm or what you're supposed to do to be successful. That's what it takes. And that's where I've also, like I said, carried it over from wrestling into business aspect, to where it's going to take more than just, you know what I mean, doing the norm to do something. For example, like our shoe stuff, we travel all over the world. I'll fly places, go anywhere. I'll stay up. I'll drive anywhere. If that's what it takes to be successful, I'll do that. We get stuff from all over, bring it back here to Pueblo. That's just sometimes what it takes. We're not going to just sit here and order stuff on StockX and up market $100. F that. We don't want to do that. You know, we're going to put in the hard work and effort and the footwork a lot of people don't want to do something like that to make it successful. And that's what we've done with a lot of our businesses and stuff like that, to everything we do, to where I'm young. I'm 23 years old on that, on the shoe store. We're starting another business. We're starting like a dessert place. So we're going to start like pretty much like a dessert place, you know what I mean?
Really?
I own a car lot, and we're just keep on going from there. I just now getting into, I learned about it, investing in flipping houses, you know what I mean? Real estate. The thing is I'm still younger considered to people. I mean, but things like I can start now. I'm not going to wait till I'm 27, 28, 26, or wait till a piece of paper tells me I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now, because I mean, I'm already getting a head start in life, to where by the time I'm 30 years old, I didn't even want to be, I can be retired, you know what I mean? So like just that aspect from wrestling, like I said, that's where I think it, to where like that, I know what it takes to be at the top and swim with the sharks. I know what it takes. So that's the same thing when it comes to business. It's an eat or be eaten world, to be honest. As sucky as what it is, business, it's a bunch of sharks out there. And they say like birds with the same feather flock together. That's true. If you're surrounding yourself around a bunch of sharks, you realize like, whoa, like, it's a bunch of sharks out here, you know what I mean? And like I said, I know what it takes to swim with them. And it's not just your norm stuff. You know, you have to put in a lot of extra work to be at the top. You know what I mean? And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be at the top. Definitely. Just because I know that's what it takes to do something like that and be different than everybody else. Because everybody else that is successful, like we see the Jeff Bezos, we see the Elon Musk, and those people like that, they're just people like us. The thing is I feel like they even might have started a little bit late. To where I don't even think Jeff Bezos, Amazon, he's the Amazon owner, right? Yeah, I don't think he started all that till later on in life. He wasn't just younger, 18 years old, started, and they've been set ever since. I think whenever he started that, I think he was over 30 years old, to where it's like, to me, it's like, hey, if he can do it, I know I can do it. Why can't I? You know what I mean? We breathe the same, eat the same, bleed the same. And then on top of that, I'm just trying to get a kickstart in front of it. I mean, I'm trying to be 10 years, instead of starting by 30, retired by 30, like I said, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So,
yeah. That's a great mindset to have, man.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, you said you're kind of a new addition to Pueblo. Pueblo doesn't have a lot of people with that mindset. You know, we have a lot of workers, not a lot of bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very refreshing to hear someone say that, man.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Like I said, it's dope. Like even like something like you have to, it's dope. Like the thing of what you're doing, like it takes a certain person to do this. You know what I mean? And it's going outside of the norm. What's the norm? Work a job, make your money, pay your bills. We'll give you a week of a vacation each year. Like, that's the norm because it's comfortable. Someone like you stepped out of your comfort zone, quit your job. Now you're chasing the dream that you love. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, who did it? Jake Paul did it. Logan Paul did it. Look where they're at now. They're over doing money fights, fighting. They're not fighters like that. I mean, they know how to fight. They've been in their training, but they're nowhere near the type of work that they put in to be fighting Mayweather, to be fighting these big names.
Yeah.
They're not into that. You know what I mean? They're not at that level of fighting to fight someone like that. But of them stepping out of their comfort zone, starting their channels and podcasts and stuff that they did, brought them to be where they're at. That's not normal. You know what I mean? That's not normal that they're doing. He's over here offering people $50 million to fight him, Conor McGregor and stuff like that. Not a normal person can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it all started with something like this. He stepped out of his comfort zone a little bit and just took off. If he would have stayed normal, just working or whatever, because he was scared to do that, he would still be working wherever he was working at. You know what I mean? Doing whatever. And there's nothing against those people. This is just more like encouraging the people that are on that teeter-totter of like, oh, I want to, but I'm scared. Especially when you're young, dude. Say you do all this and you did all this and it completely failed. Where are you going to be at? Right back where you started 4 months ago when you were working your job, wherever you were. You're going to be back there anyways, you know what I mean? And then you're going to learn from your experience and you're going to escalate from there. You can step back, whatever, but at least you tried it, you know what I mean? To the point where, like I said, you do something like this to where it's like, okay, I'm taking that step. And even if you do fail, you're going to be right back where you started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Definitely.
you ain't losing anything, you know what I mean? Or you can stay in that same thing and stay in that same lane and never, ever work your way up the ladder. You're just going to be staying right there and you're just comfortable. As soon as you step out that comfort zone, when I talked about the limits are endless. You can do whatever you want with it. It doesn't matter. Like, it'll blow your mind for the amount of stuff that you don't realize you can do until you do it. And you're like, whoa, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could make that much money in a week. Well, and I've done it myself to where, like I said, you work a normal job. Say they might pay you $400 every paycheck a week or 2 weeks or $500, whatever it is. Oh, that's normal. Good money. I know every day I'm going to go to work and I'm for sure going to get a paycheck. It's a little risky stepping out and being like, oh my gosh, I don't know when the next payday is, but you got to make it happen. You got to make it work. And there's been times, like I said, now when you open your mind up to like, whoa, I didn't know I could do this. There's times where I've made the amount of money in a week to like, oh my gosh, I could never imagine. How'd I never even think I could have made this amount of money in a week? Or I never thought I could have done and already achieved what I've achieved in this world. You know what I mean? You don't realize until you step out of the comfort zone and do it. You're like, whoa, I didn't know I could do this. And it just goes up from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's dope.
Yeah, it's definitely a really powerful mindset to have,
Yeah.
man. You know, like you said, you're one of the younger business owners in Pueblo, and I doubt people sharing that mindset. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure people hearing this is going to be the first time that they're even going to,
Yeah.
you know, have those words come into their brain.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's what I meant. That's dope because there's so many people, like I said, that want to, but they're on the teeter-totter or think, oh yeah, they just think like, oh, they see those people that are rich. And everybody wants to be rich or successful. And they're like, oh, not even rich, but just wealthy. You can take care of yourself. And some people want nice cars, whatever it may be. But a lot of people are on that teeter-totter to where it's like, oh my gosh, I want to make that step. I'm kind of scared. You know what I mean? But when you're young, like I said, at this, of course, you got to take care of your responsibilities and whatnot, but you have so much time to make up for whatever you want to do, and you learn so much from it. There's been stuff to where I made investments or this to where I've learned so much from it to where it's like, okay, I'm 23 years old, and I feel like what I've accomplished and what I'm doing, it's just like I've learned everything from failing. And people are scared to fail, but you have to fail to succeed. You know what I mean? There's no way if you don't learn something along the way, you're just never going to make it to where the point where like, it's okay to fail. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to run into a problem. It's just helping you for next time, you know, to stay away from the problem, know what's going to take to not fail. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's so many people out there that young and want to do that. Everybody wants to make money. You got to make money to make the world go around. And that's the way to live. You know what I mean? No matter what, at the end of the day, you got to eat and drink, and that sucks, but you got to pay for that stuff.
Definitely.
At the end of the day, you have to do it, make money to live, like I said, and that's where it comes down to. You can do this or that, and a lot of people, like I said, teeter-totter on that comfortability, but as soon as you step out, there's so many people out there that are just scared to take that step, but when you do, it's you don't realize how good it can be.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
What would you say one of your, I would say maybe not, you know, I wouldn't word it failure, but what would you say one of your biggest learning experiences was so far in your life?
My biggest learning experience was having pretty much, to a smaller extent than what I'm at now, but I, at one point, like I said, kind of in a simple phrase is, I remember at one point I was doing pretty good. I was, like I said, doing my own thing. I was, like I said, entrepreneur. I was making money and doing pretty good. And it pretty much, I don't know how, what, but I remember one day looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have $1,000. No, it was like $1,200 to my name. And like I said, that's not bad money. But the thing is I remember this time where I had more money and blah, 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 to where it's like, I remember this was about probably 2 years ago, year and a half ago. I had like $1,200 to my name. And it completely, when I say, because I was doing good, you know what I mean? I was doing good, but then stuff just like piled up and crap hit the fan and blah, 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 to where it all hit me literally when it rained, it poured. Mm-hmm. And I was at a point where, like, when I thought I was doing good and I thought I was, oh man, I'm making money, and I was making pretty good money, and I thought I was an entrepreneur. And I mean, I was, like I said, being an entrepreneur, taking that risk, and I was making pretty good money. And when I first, like I said, took that hit and crap hit the fan, I remember, like I said, I had like $1,200 to my name. And that was the biggest, and that's what turned me from, like I said, that's when I was kind of doing good, hit me down, knocked me low, and now I built up, when I say way beyond what I ever thought I could do in this last year and a half, from where I was at a year and a half ago to now. It's insane. I would never think I would be able to do what I did in this last year and a half. And that all started from failing. I learned my mistakes, what I did wrong. The thing, it was sucked in the meantime when I was there, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh. And like I said, $1,200, that's not money, but it's like, as far as you want to be an entrepreneur, start something or invest into something, it costs, you know what I mean? Say if I want to invest, say example, like even these laminations, like this stuff, it costs to make this, you know what I mean? And this is to start your own, and nothing's a guaranteed comeback. I know if I go and work at Walmart, I'm going to guaranteed, I go there and work, I'm guaranteed going to get a check. When you're an entrepreneur trying to do your own thing, nothing's guaranteed. You don't know when your next paycheck is, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that was my biggest, I guess, like I said, learning experience was about a year and a half ago, to be completely honest. I got stripped down. Like I said, crap hit the fan. When it rained, it poured. And I was
What exactly happened? Do you feel comfortable talking about it?
Realistically, just like business and stuff, it just really, business, like just stuff kind of hit the fan, like stuff that I was doing. I mean, it wasn't necessarily like, it just kind of like, I mean, I had other stuff going on and whatnot, but just as far as I remember, as far as investment purpose, I'm like sitting here like, oh my gosh, dude, it's pretty much like, I've always been the cars, flipping cars, stuff like that. Like me and my other business partner kind of split up, and then like just I got screwed on this stuff. Other investments didn't go well, and then, like pretty much like I said, it just was so much at once to where it rained, it poured on me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and it brought me to a point in the state where I'm like, it made me rethink everything. I was worried, like, dude, what I thought over here, I was doing good, and like I said, but that was that failure that took me to the next level. Because I would have kept on the pace that I was going. Say none of it happened, none of it hit the fan. I was doing good. But it stripped me down to a point to where it was measures where I thought I would never be again. Especially the rate that I was going. I was doing good. That rate, like I said, but the thing is that rate was solid. I was doing good, especially for being... This was actually when I was probably like 20 years old. Yeah, whatever it was. But it stripped me down. And like I said, I kind of lost train of thought, but... When that happened, it was just like that failure that you hear about, you don't really think it's going to happen to you. Mm-hmm. And you don't really think necessarily like, oh yeah, that happens. But it happens at some point. And I mean, it may not, but when it does, it's all about how you bounce back. Because I could have sat down and then I would have been screwed. Could have went and got just a normal job. And now I'm back at square one. Which the thing is, that was my point. I took a risk and I was doing good. It knocked me back to where I started. Back to square one. And now from, say I was on square 10, now where I'm at a year and a half later, I'm on square 100. Like I am, like I said, that knockdown made a monster of me that for the best. That was like, dude, you got this is a, like I said, eat or be eaten world. A bunch of sharks out there. I got bit by a shark and it took my leg off. It took a leg from me. But the thing is like I said, when I bounced back from that, when I was on square 10, I'm, like I said, now where I'm at, I'm on square 100. And I'm still moving up at a steady pace to to where it's like, man, there's options are, I mean, the limit's endless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that knocked me on, like I said, to fail. That would be my biggest experience I've ever like failed from, to where I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like I sat back and I'm like, I remember being this and being up there like, whoa, I'm doing good, to now I'm down here sitting here like, whoa, what am I going to do next? Mm-hmm. And that was my biggest learning experience. Like, okay, like slow your roll, realize what's happening, what's in front of you, take it in perspective, and mount from it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean. I could have took it one way or the other way. Luckily, I took it this way, and it helped me do, and like I said, it's from me being at square 10 where I was now a year and a half later after getting knocked back down to square one, and I did fail. That experience brought me to where I'm at now, and I wouldn't change it for nothing, because I learned so much in that experience of failing and what it felt like. That I felt how I felt. I was like, I never would want to feel like this again. I never will. Made that promise to myself, and I'm not going to. I don't care what it takes. You know what I mean? Just, and that's where the thing is, I lacked sometimes. I lacked some of the maybe work effort. I maybe lacked some of like paying attention to details and stuff that I should have done. I know where I failed at. I know where I messed up at, and it made me a better person to where I'm at today, to where I'm, like I said, doing 10 times better when I thought I was doing good. Mm-hmm. I'm on a whole nother level at this point. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Wow. Can you pinpoint like an exact time in your life when to where you were like, wow, I'm on quote unquote square 100 right now. Like I've really leveled up, and like it was in an exact moment that you felt that.
Exact moment I felt that. I'll say I'll pinpoint when I hit, let's say square 50. And that was after probably 2 months of opening that store. Mm-hmm. That was when, like I said, it was low risk. And then once we opened that store, it was a little bit of a risk. I mean, we don't know. There's never been a store like this down here, so it's not proven to work. It's not like it's a coffee shop, and you open a coffee shop, it's proven people are going to come get coffee. You open a Starbucks anywhere, guaranteed you're going to have people come to Starbucks. Mm-hmm. There's never, ever been something like that. Like I said, we don't know. It's not proven to work. And any other maybe shops that may have kind of done shoes, something like that, they're obviously nowhere around now. So odds were necessarily against us. It wasn't proven to work that store was going to be successful and where we're at. But when we took that leap and was like, we're going to do this whatever way. That's one thing, like I said, from my brother, I learned. Sometimes taking those, he still sometimes takes a risk that's like, what the heck, at least maybe educator, or sometimes he's just like, F it, I'm doing it, you know what I mean? But this is one that's kind of like an educated risk, where it's like, I was even still a little like, should we open it, maybe should we wait? He's like, no, we're doing it. All right, we're rolling with the punches, we're gonna do it. And we did it, and about 2 months after is when I say hit square 50. And then now recently, like I said, since I got, because like I said, I've always like also as well, I flip cars and whatnot, mm-hmm. done cars and blah, and that's kind of like that type of aspect too. That's just hustling, you know what I mean? At first it was always just like I said, car has everything to do with just hustling, knowing what to bid, what to buy, what to fix, what not to fix, what's going to be good, what's not going to be good. And that's where I first started just kind of like doing that. And like I said, to now, I would say probably within the last month and a half is when I finally got my location, opened the car lot, to where now I'm the car lot, to where I'm my own dealer, you know what I mean? To where that's when I was like, okay, I really doubled up, to where now I have a successful store running. I'm doing really well with my car lot. Me and my business partner, we do really well with it. Now I have that, to where it's like, now next thing, now we're opening, to where it's like, okay, I've already kind of getting the shoe game stuff down, like the whole store and all that, how it operates, how it runs, getting that's down to a pat ding near. The car stuff, that's down to a pat ding near. I do really well with that. And the next thing up, like I said, is now we're moving into kind of like the industry of restaurants, like kind of like something like just that type of, we're going like a dessert place like that, as well as investing in a real estate and property and flipping houses and stuff like that, to where, like I said, I know I can do it. It's just going to take time, as long as I'm not being stupid about it. You know what I mean? I know like I'm going to have to learn a lot along the way, but I'm not scared to dive into the shark full of waters, because that's a whole different game now. Like the pond that I'm in, I've been able to survive in this pond. Everything has its own different game. So as far as you're in a whole different pond than me. We're still all entrepreneurs, but you're in the pond of different podcasts, other people doing, you know what I mean? This is a whole different world. Mm-hmm. That world, we're doing good. Car world, solid, good. Now we're stepping into like real estate. That's a whole nother game of its own, to where, but I'm not afraid to throw myself in, you know what I mean? And like I said, I know dang well, you throw me with the wuss, I'm going to come back alpha. So that's the thing where that kind of mentality, same thing, is like, throw me to the wuss, I'm going to come back alpha. Throw me to the sharks, I'm going to become a shark, whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? Whatever it takes. And so that's where it's like kind of just moving on from there. And that's one thing where I learned, like I said, when I first hit my rock bottom dang near, I kind of learned that, like, whoa, I got bit by a shark. Sharks bit me. And not only did I get bit by a big shark, I get bit by all the little sharks following along with it. You know what I mean? Stuff just poured on me. And that's where I learned, like, whoa, it's what it is. You know what I mean? And that's where you kind of just start and leveling up. So like I said, probably a month and a half ago, when everything finally, because I've always done cars and stuff, but I finally really just got my full on my license, everything to where now it's my car lot. I'm in control of everything from start to finish. I hire who I want to hire, secretaries, whatever it may be. It's all on me. If I'm not there, that place doesn't run. My car lot does not make money. Same to that store. Well, my brother, we do it, but if we're not there, that place doesn't make money. And that's when you know now that person, you know what I mean? If you're not there, it's not happening, then you know, all right, we are at that point to where we're up there, we're a shark, you know what I mean? So like I said, we know we're not at that store ain't making money. I know what that car's on. I'm not there running, making sure that place is good with my car stuff. It's not making money. Same thing. Now we're moving on to that real estate stuff. It's like I said, it all starts with you. And that's where, like I said, that next step that we're jumping into, like I said, me and my brother are both doing it and stuff, other brothers and stuff. But that, like I said, the whole new pond we're about to jump into, but we're ready for it. We're not scared of it. You're going to be a shark. You know what I mean? So
I've heard other content creators say, like, you do not have a good platform until it can run without you.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, maybe one day, relating this to my podcast or Street Champs and podcasting in general, you know, giving people their own shows to where necessarily you don't have to be on it.
Exactly.
You know, like when you hire the car lot sales manager,
like,
that place is going to make money without you.
Exactly, without me, exactly. But it all starts with you. The thing is that's true to where it can't. The thing is where if you can make money, like you said, without, what'd you say exactly?
You know, you don't have a good platform until it's making money without
you. But the thing is that can't make money without you if it wasn't for you. You know what I mean? So the platform, like your platform, this platform, that light would not turn on, computer would not turn on, this mic would not turn on without you. You know what I mean? But now that we're up and rolling, it's doing its thing. But you're the whole snowball to that effect. Without you clicking that button to turn on that piece of machine right there, it's not going to turn on by itself.
Yeah.
But now that you turn it on, got the snowball running, now it's running by itself because of you. So now it's working for you. But you were the one that had to get that rolling. You know what I mean? So as far as like a store, we have it to where we have it rolling. Like I said, me and my brother, we like doing stuff. Like I said, we could hire someone to run our store. I could hire, like I said, completely run our store. It's not hard. It's just running the store. You know what I mean? I mean, we enjoy being there. We enjoy what I do. I don't even say what I do is work. I enjoy every single thing that I do. Completely enjoy it.
That's beautiful.
Love it. Store, I love being there. Hang out, play PS5. People come in, buy shoes, interact, hang out, play basketball, like whatever we want to do. Fun. My car stuff, I love cars. I have cars, and I always loved cars and stuff like that growing up. Drive all different cars, buy cars, whatever I want, you know what I mean, to where it's dope. But like I said, that is completely something, like I said, to where that snowball effect, that snowball still has to start somewhere. It's not going to start by itself. So without you, there will never be what you can make. You know, without you, there's no Street Champs. But like you said, same thing, how I kind of just paraphrase, like the aspect of you turning on that machine, you still got to get that effect rolling, and then it's running for you. But there's still a start to something, you know what I mean? To where, like I said, that is true. And like I said, I learned that, and it's dope. Like I said, to where we're at, it's like we have it till we're pretty down to a T. I like have my hands in everything, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
I could never imagine, like, we could, like I said, we could hire someone to run the store, but I feel like I would always still have to be there, just because, like, it's not how, like I said, we got it wrong. We could tell someone exactly what to look for, not to look for, what to do, what not to do, down to a T. Boom. Same thing with cars. I can send someone off to go to, say, auctions and stuff. I can send hey, look for this, look for that, stay away from this, stay away from that, make sure this is good, make sure that is good. I could do all that and run someone down and teach someone that. I had to learn it myself, and I learned it. I know I can do it. But the thing is, instead of someone sending someone there, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Our hours are a little weird. The reason why, Tuesday and Wednesdays, I have all my car stuff. Wednesdays, I have auctions. Tuesdays, all that stuff. That's the where our hours, everything is like, we'll make it work. The point, like I said, I could send someone out to do auctions and do the scoping out and see what it is. but I want to do it. I like doing it. I like doing the work. I like working hard. I like knowing what I'm doing. So there's no excuse to if something messes up, there's no excuse besides me. You know what I mean? I completely trust myself, and anything in my hands, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do, and I'll trust myself to the point where, like I said, as far as cars, tell someone you do it. They buy a bad car. Who do I blame? Me or them? Kind of them, because I guess I told you to, do this, do that, and you told me you did that. But from the first start, if I would have done it myself, that would have never happened. You know what I mean? And even if so, then I just eat it myself. That's my own self. Like, I can't blame no one else for it. So that's where, like, I like doing it. Like I said, I like being there for it. Like I said, the store, say someone messed up and charged someone the wrong price. Well, I know if I was there, that wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? To where it's like, I can't really put that blame on you, because it's like, yeah, it sucks. Okay, you did it, but are you at fault or am I at fault? Because I know if I did it myself, you know what I mean? That wouldn't happen. Same thing as cars or anything you do in that aspect. If you tell someone, hey, come run my podcast, and they forget to press record, well, it's kind of like, well, that was a whole waste of time. I didn't even record it, but what do? You know what I mean? Whose fault is it? I mean, kind of yours, but then again, if I was there, you're not going to forget to press record. So it's like, I like being there and being, you know what I mean? Because I know you're going to get done. You're no one to blame. You're going to get done what you need to be done.
Yeah, no one's going to respect your money like you respect your own money.
Exactly. Never. That's one thing you have to learn too.
And time is money.
Time is definitely money. Exactly. So that's something that when you get time working for you, then you're really making, if you're making money while you're sleeping, boom, stuff like that. So that's where, like I said, residual income and that type of stuff come in. And that's big time too. You know what I mean? That's that's as far as like this entrepreneur stuff. Like I said, I'm still learning as I go. I'm still younger. I'm still figuring stuff out as I go. And the only way to figure out though is experiencing it. You're not going to figure it out by reading a book. You can figure out how to do this, do that by reading a book. But there's also, when I say a whole nother side of the world, you learn through experience and hands-on. That's a whole nother world by doing it. You know, and there's so much stuff you learn by doing it rather than reading about it or seeing about it. You know what I mean? When you're actually in there doing it and you experience it, you learn a whole different side of the world that a lot of people might not step into. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Like a new experience. I hope you never had experience before. Was someone breaking into your shop, right?
Yeah.
Very recently.
Yeah, that sucked. That how did you think? So the people broke into our store. It was more like, it was more the fact that, like I said, we try to make it more like we're doing something more, like I said, it's dope for the community. It's something down here in Pueblo, not a lot of people out. And when that happened, it was more of kind of like a disappointment. Like, it's not necessarily, of course it sucks, like whatever, but we have crazy like security systems. It's full live video on our phones. We have so much stuff to where it's like police automatically, we pay a lot of money for that stuff to where police get dispatched as soon as we get it. Like, I mean, we have full live video. We can talk through our phones. We can see everything. But the thing is, we live 5 minutes from there. We can be down there. We can literally everything, to where it's like, it was more like realistically, it's like, okay, it wasn't the fact of like, oh, it was more the fact that, man, it sucked that someone did that people did that, to where everybody that comes in, we try, like, we welcome like family. We're cool with everybody. We want everybody to enjoy their time. Like, we don't ever like disregard anybody or tell nobody you know what I mean? It don't matter who, what, where you're from, what you're doing. Come to our store, come kick it, say what's up, got any question about shoes, anything you didn't answer, what's up, what do you need help with, want to try on anything. Like I said, we're here for, like I said, we try to make like a family community environment, something that's dope. You know what I mean? And it was, like I said, that happens. I mean, it happens. Like I said, it's life, and it's not necessarily, I think, oh, it's pinned on like people get robbed. I mean, people, like, that happens. It sucks, but there's still people who are like, that happens. To where, like, I mean, the store next to us, they're like a pottery shop. They've got robbed too before. What are you gonna get from a pottery shop? Some people, it just happens. You know what I mean? And, that's life, where life throws those curveballs. But like I said, it's going to happen. And that sucks that did happen. But it was more just like the sucky part. Like, man, like, who, why? Like, we're not out here to get nobody. We're not here screwing. Like, we're just this dope thing for the community. Let's not ruin it. Let's build this up and let's be something dope. You know what I mean? There's been times where people came in our store and literally need money for their phone bill. We've given money for the phone bill. Needed money for certain stuff where they bring in inventory that we really wouldn't want. We don't want nothing to do with that inventory. But, man, honestly, I have to get it because I have to pay this bill. And by then, that's the only reason why I'm selling. Otherwise, I would never sell it. We've gave them the money for the bill. Tell them, keep yourself. We don't want, you know what I mean? It's not, at this point, it's like a little bit, it's not really all about the money part. Like I said, of course, you need money to live. But then again, there comes to the part to where we do this as well for, like I said, we're all human. You know what I mean? There's been spots where we've all been in a bad spot before. You know what I mean? Don't forget, like, now you might be up or you might be doing something, but there's all been a time to where we've all been in a bad spot, time where we needed somebody for something or needed help with something. Don't forget, a lot of people forget that. But like I said, there's been times where people came in and brought stuff to where we just gave them the money because we're like, dude, like, keep your stuff if that's valuable to you. You wouldn't sell it if you didn't have to. Keep it. Here's the money for it. You know what I mean? Like, it'll help. Like, we'll help you out. You know, we're not here to, you know what I mean? To where, like, we've done stuff like that. And we've done it to where, like I said, a community thing where people always come in, may not have the money for the shoe. We've sold shoes below cost before. And we're like, man, the fact that you're happy that you're walking out with that shoe, take it. You know what I mean? We've gave shoes away. We've also, like I said, sold shoes at cost. We've sold shoes. People come in, man, I'm short with money. We can work with you. You know what I mean? We're here to, like, it makes us happy to see you're walking out with something that you truly, like, what you came for, and you know the world of, like I said, it's still getting introduced out here. Some people walk in, it's hard to wrap their head around, oh my gosh, $500 for a shoe, $350. It's hard to wrap that around someone's head, but we're introducing that here to where it's like, we're here for you guys. You know what I mean? It's dope, something that should be here, and a lot of people enjoy it. So that's where it's kind of, like I said, it's more of a, it was more of, like I said, just kind of like, dang, that sucks. Like, we're not out here to, like, we're here to, like, build something up dope for the community. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, the support that we did get from, like I said, all the SoCo fans, shout out to you guys. They were dope.
Hey.
Like, the amount of people that we had of support, like, that next few days, everywhere we went, man, people messaging us, stopping us at the malls, people offering cars, like, everything, like, man, like, we want, like, we don't, like, this favorite sort of shop at, like, you guys are dope, like, blah, blah, to where, like, man, we've seen so much support that was like, dope, like, we do this for the city, like, this is dope. The fact and the support that we have behind us for this was undescribable. Like, it was something I've been successful in a lot of things, like whether it's sports, I've succeeded, I've accomplished a lot of things, but that was a different type of, like, feeling that you get. I mean, everything's a different type of feeling, but, like, that, like I said, achieved a lot of stuff to where, oh, this was a good feeling, that was a good feeling, but that type of feeling was different. Like, the fact that people, like, the support and stuff from the town of Pueblo, of a lot of people were like, man, like, sorry that happened, what can I do to help, what can we do to help, what do you need from us, like, you know what I mean, to where it's like, it was dope, but, like, the community, to where it's like, man, we want to keep that rolling, you know what I mean? So, like I said, there's always times where, like I said, people may even come into the store, maybe short on money, may not have all the money or whatever it is, to we'll hook them. Of course, we hope it to where it's like, no, people aren't taking advantage of it. I hope someone doesn't come in tomorrow and be like, hey, I have no money for my phone bill, give me some. Not like that, but it is more, like I said, to where people also respect our part, to where people come in and they don't even bargain. They just, hey, bro, like, we like what you're doing. This is support your business. Boom. Take the shoe. Thank you. Boom. We really appreciate you, bro. Blah, blah, to where it's a good fit to, like I said, you do good on the others will come on to you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like what you put out is what you get. You know, and treat, like God says in the Bible, treat others how you want to be treated. That's the same exact way. You know what I mean? To where that's where, like I said, it was a little bit of a disappointment to where it's like, man, we're not out here trying to do that. That's not what we're even doing all this for. It's more of a better thing for the environment, like not environment, for the community, to where it's like, this is dope. Like, there's something to have something like this here. And then, like I said, after that happened and seeing the support, I was like, man, this is dope. This is something that we definitely got to keep rolling, as well as it's something that, like I said, everybody else enjoys. Obviously, we've seen from the support that it was, like I said, that's dope to see that, you know? So
is it still an ongoing thing, or is it closed, or did they catch him, the investigation to find the guys?
I don't know exactly. It's not, like I said, we're moving. Like I said, it's bounced back. I said that happened whatever time ago. We're moving on to the next. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're moving on to the next. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's not something that necessarily is like, oh, we are hovering over this and this is that. But like we're on to the next thing we need to get. Like I said, keep on. We could dwell on it. Oh my gosh, or what's it? We're making progress. Keep going up. Keep going. Benefit part about it, we got honestly a lot of rave about it. We gained a bunch of followers. We gained a bunch of people who didn't know about the store. I came in because I seen my buddy posted it about, I'm sorry, what happened? What can I do? We'll look at the positive of it. Cool. Dope. You know what I mean? We can make a positive of it. We gained a lot of like attention from it. Like a lot of people, we gained a lot of, let's just say, like customers and stuff, to where they're coming, they learned about the store from that place. You know what I mean? So that was dope. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not something that we're going to can really sit and dwell on to the point to where like the next shirts I think we're going to make is we still have that rock that they threw the window. We still have that in the store, dude. We're going to put that on a shirt And
legendary.
We have a picture of our, like, how we're doing it. And so I don't know if you remember, but Kanye made that shirt of his house he grew up. It was the house he grew up in, right? The one where he put on a shirt.
Believe so, yeah.
So we're gonna put. So we have a picture of our, obviously, a store all boarded up and stuff. We're gonna put that with the rock on it. Like, so we're gonna put a picture of the store all boarded up and with the rock on it. Throw it on a T-shirt. That's gonna be our next T-shirt we make. You know what I mean? It's kind of something that's like, it's kind of like we got to turn it into a positive thing. Whether it's not gonna be something negative, it's like, okay, we got to turn it into something else. So the next shirts we're gonna make, it's going to be SoCo Drip Co, boarded up with the rock by it, blah, blah, blah. Turn it into a positive thing. We're on to the next. You know what I mean? Hope it doesn't happen again. And that's not what we want, like I said, but we're just moving on to the next. We can't sit here and dwell on it, and that's thing near anything in life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I mean, that's a great outlook.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure they wanted to stop the movement you guys were creating. You know, they're like, oh, let's take all their inventory, fucking get them out of here.
Yeah. Whether, like I said, whether it was the aspect, hey, maybe to cut them out, hey, we don't want them here. I don't know. So there's that. Maybe it would just quit come up or whatever it may be. Realistically, that store, the way it's set up, we have it set up specific ways to where it's like it's not necessarily like, well, it's just that easy. And plus, like I said, we have security systems, alarm systems. We have police on dispatch. We're 2 blocks away from the police station. You know what I mean? We know, like, for the station, like, we know people, though. Also, like I said, we got it to where it's like, we're not really worried. Like I said, that aspect of it, we're like a security system. We pay a lot of stuff to where it's like, we have that part handled. Like, we have security, and we have, like I said, we have our nightly now where we had to get a security walking around at night. You know what I mean? Sucks to have it, but whatever happens. But it's more of something that, like I said, I don't know whether they did it to shut us down, whether they did it to pretty much get a quick come up, whatever it may be. I don't know. Whatever it was, like I said, I don't know what it was for. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't nothing, like, no hate against somebody. It's not like I said, it could have been maybe just, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's because they wanted to shut us down or because, like I said, a quick come up. I have no clue. Like I said, we're just on to the next. It's something that whatever they did it for, I just like.
Yeah. Have you seen any of your merch for sale?
No, none of the merch for sale. No.
If you come across a post for it, are you gonna go try to meet up?
I don't know. I will. Like I said, that's. So another side of the story.
Yeah.
So,
no, you know,
but yeah, that's like I said. I mean, whether it's like posted up or stuff. Of course, we'll have to get something figured out. Like I said, we can't just necessarily pinpoint or point someone out or hey, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But like I said, of course, it's not just fly by night, nothing. You know, we're obviously, like I said, to where. Because I don't think necessarily people are to the point to where they did take merch and homeroom post on Facebook Marketplace. I don't think people would really do that. You know what I mean? But if you did, it's like
you'd be surprised.
Not the smartest thing. Yeah, you may be surprised.
Bro.
Like I said, whatever it is, like I said, we're just ready to move on to the next and keep things rolling.
And moving on, you guys are hoping to move to the Pueblo Mall?
So we're going to. That's one of the options, moving to Pueblo Mall. Staying where we're at, we're kind of just been kind of debating. Honestly, Pueblo Mall kind of sucks just because there's just so many rules and stuff. Got to close at this time, open at this time, do this at that time, do this at that time. If not, you get fined to where it's like, oh, I don't really roll like that. I don't like someone telling me what to do. And if I don't do it, you tell me I get fined. I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? To me, it's like, you know, in your business, do what you want. If I want to close on this day, I can close on this day. And that's the luxury and time of having your own business. You know what I mean? That's what's dope. And it's not even necessarily, to me, wealth isn't necessarily even money. You know what I mean? Of course, you need money to live, like I said, and you want nice things. You're able to buy nice things. But wealth has a lot to do with time. You know what I mean? If you don't have time in the day to do anything, but you have all the money in the world, what is that good for? You know what I mean? Like, if I can't do whatever, you know what I mean? Say I buy a Lamborghini, but I don't have no time in the day to take that Lamborghini out. What's that good for? You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
I believe time. There's more wealth in time than there is money. But, of course, you have to have money to create wealth.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's a fine line where you have to find that line between that's like time, wealth, money. But like I said, without time, don't matter what you got. If you can't use it, you can't take your boat out because you're working till 8 o'clock every day. And by the time you get off, it's night. What's that worth? To sit in your thing and tell people you have it? I don't want to just tell people I want to use it. That's what I bought it for. You know what I mean? So that's where you have to find that thing in between where time and wealth as well and money has a fine line between each of them all. You find that balance to where that's what makes you happy. So you want to go on vacation, but you can't because of whatever. That would suck. But you have the money to do it, but you can't do it. What does that really make out for? You know what I mean?
There's a Japanese word called it's like hakaji. It's basically the meaning of life, and it's being happy But like one corner of the circle is being happy. The next corner of the circle is being financially successful.
Yep.
The bottom right is something that giving to the world what it needs, making the world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other left is feeling whole.
Yeah.
And like when you do all four perfectly, it's a sense called Hakaji, something like that. But most people are living in majority of the one corner of the circle. Most people they're financially happy. They have money, they have the time, but they don't have the health
Yep.
to do it. They have
Exactly.
the health and the time, but they don't have the money.
Yeah.
So
And
it's,
that's pretty much, like I said, that's the same exact way. I've never heard of that, but that's kind of like I said, that's kind of like the same thing that I'm saying.
mm-hmm.
If you don't have health to do something that say you have wealth but not the health,
Mm-hmm.
what does that make up for? If you want to go travel but you can't because your health, that sucks. You know what I mean? Same thing with money. If you have a boat but you can't take it out because you don't have the time, that sucks. What is it good for? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, like I said, that fine line is something you have to find out and you learn as you go. You know what I mean? So, but that was kind of let off from the question of moving to the mall. We were still thinking about it, but that was one thing that kind of sucked about it was just kind of like all the rules and regulations stuff you got to do.
Yeah.
Will kind of suck. You know what I mean? But
like
plus,
the opposite of being your own entrepreneur business.
exactly.
It's like,
Because you really you are, but you're not.
Yeah.
The proceeds, like money goes to you, but you can't. You tell me I can't leave and go get lunch and shut down for 30 minutes if I want to.
yeah.
Nah, forget that. You know what I mean? You ain't about to tell me I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, like I said, that would suck. So, but like I said, but we're getting like all the new Windows stuff we're getting there. It's all like, plus we're getting all like the windows now, not the windows that shatter like they did. These last ones we're getting the expensive ones. They'll shatter, but they won't break. They have like that film in between to where
Oh yeah.
you can't. They're not. You're gonna, if you want to throw a rock through it, it's gonna make a hole this big. But the window doesn't just shatter, you know. So we're doing like stuff like that as well as like I said. But like I said, we're not. Like I said, if any of the thing is, we're more the type to where say somebody they needed that stuff. We would rather have someone really come like we'll help out whatever it may be. Say someone needed some clothes, comes in the store and they need clothes. I'd rather you tell us, hey bro, I need a shirt because I don't have clothes and I'm going to high school tomorrow. I don't have any good clothes. I'd rather you tell us that and we give you a shirt. We will. Like I said, if it's really that, then you'd steal a shirt. You know what I mean? When you steal a shirt, I get it's like, oh, it might be something hard to ask or something that's a weird spot, but we would rather help than you take. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To the point, if someone did need money, if someone needed clothes or something like that, or whatever, of course, to an extent, but like I said, to where we would rather help you out than something like, you know what I mean? Like, so say you needed a jacket because it's cold out, I can't afford one. Hey, sorry about your luck, but maybe go check Walmart. No, dude, like we're gonna get something figured out. Whether we give you money to go buy one, whether we have one in your size and we can give you whatever. Maybe we're rather point to where we'd rather have you. Like I said, tell us if you need help. We'll help. We're gonna get something figured out. Whether it's us, someone else, get you help to get you figured out. You know what I mean? Get something figured out to help you out.
Wow, man.
Whatever it may be. You know what I mean?
That's
and
really
that's
beautiful.
that's where it's like we try. Like I said, that's the type of people we are too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not just like we want to see everybody successful. We want to see everybody eat. We don't want, like I said, we've all been in a spot. No matter where you're at, you've been in a hard spot in your life to where it's like maybe you had no money in your name. Maybe you had no, like whatever it may be. You didn't have a jacket. You didn't have a hat that you wanted. Maybe you didn't have clothes, earrings, jewelry, whatever it may be, to the point to where we know and understand. Like I said, we didn't grow up really rich. We grew up actually poor for the most part. You know what I mean? We know what it's like. We know what it can be. But we also know what it can be on the other side. You know what I mean? I would not rather have you steal something from somewhere and then that ruined your life and say you get caught and took to jail or something like that, than you come somewhere to where you know you can get help. And because not a lot of people, some people don't have parents. Some people don't have family that want to help. Some people, a lot of them are on their own. They don't have like that. There's a lot of cases like that. You know what I mean? And we know family, we have family members that are like that. I'm very, thank God every day that I had good parents and family that my parents were together. You know what I mean? That we had a good household to grow, like learn and grow us up in and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people, we would go get school clothes before school. But I remember there's some kids that didn't get school clothes before school. Everybody's in a different situation in life. And it's not in your place to talk down on someone, make you feel, or I'm better than this person for what? You know what I mean? It ain't benefiting you. You know what I mean? It's just like I said, that's the kind of spot we're at, especially where we're at now. It's like, you need a jacket, dude. We'd rather give you a jacket than you steal a jacket from us. You know what I mean? Just like, that's just a two different, like I said, we're going to say, F you, go figure it out. Sorry about your luck. If you really need help, dude, we're here to, let's get help. We've all been there. Let's help you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a really nice thought.
Yeah.
And you guys aren't even from Pueblo.
No.
So you don't even know, like, people fucking I don't know if it's like this in Oregon,
Yeah.
Portland. People fucking live and die by 719, bro. Like people will
Really?
fucking fight you. Like they just bang 719, bro.
Colorado, yeah.
Yeah, like people, like the Pueblo mindset is real.
Yeah.
Like people are just they're Pueblo. They're just Pueblo, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that's really nice that you guys are transports from another city,
Yeah.
and you guys are showing that support for a
Exactly.
place that you guys have no.
That's
You guys don't
ties
have to. Yeah, you guys don't have to do this for Pueblo.
Exactly.
you
We
know?
could go to LA and do it by a beach, or Hawaii
Exactly.
and be by a beach, or somewhere like that, or California, somewhere, you know what I mean, to where it is something like that, Florida. But like I said, something out here as far as, like I said, we're not initially from out here, so it's not like that, but it's like the aspect of like, we know out here, there's a lot of kids that I grew up with, been around that. They're a lot like the kids out here. They just need maybe a little bit of help and guidance. Might need just a different thing. Is I'm still a kid too. I talk like, oh, I'm still a kid too. I'm 23 years old. I'm the same age as half a lot of people I or even when I was going to school, I'll be talking like, oh, I'm gonna have one of these kids go pick up this, or have one of these kids. I'm like, wait, not one of these kids. I'm the same age as these people.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm the same thing. But you know what I mean, just different mindset to where it's like that type of stuff to where it's like those, like the kids and stuff like that. We've seen broken homes. We've seen, like I said, when I went to the only predominantly black high school in Oregon, Jefferson High School. I mean, 95% of our school is black. I mean, a lot of it was, a lot of poverty, a lot of people coming from broken homes, a lot of people coming from, like, kids, I know, friends that were stealing stuff because they couldn't get it and stuff like that. I've seen it all. We've been, you know what I mean? We're not here to hold ourselves of a higher pedestal, you know what I mean? We're here to help build up and, like, show there's a different way, and if someone can do it, you can do it, you know what I mean? That's what a lot of people are here to, where it's like, we're here, like, we'll do, like I said, whatever it may be. Like I said, those people, there is always more. There's more to it than, you know what I mean? Some people have different background, but there's more to life than what you think or may, like, oh, no, I've only seen this. Like, there's more to it than what you necessarily can wrap your head around. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
you never know the battles people are fighting.
Exactly. So that, because everybody a different story. But then again, still, like I said, there's a lot of people are willing to help, but a lot of people don't like calling out for help or want help, you know what I mean? Or like I said, have a different mindset, or, oh, why just do that when I can take it? Or why just, you know what I mean? To where it's like, turn that around. Those people that you're taking from or doing whatever from, they had to work hard. They started where they're at and worked to where they're at, to where it's like, why are you know what I mean? Don't take from them, you know what I mean? Because they started in the same spot you were. They might have been in a worse spot than when you were. Now they get up and try to do something. It's like some people may take, or some people may try to do whatever. Shortcuts never work. I learned that in wrestling. I try to do a lot of shortcuts. Oh, you always think, oh, I'll go the easier way out. Mm-hmm. Oh, instead of running, you got to run 2 miles today, I'm going to run 1.5 and walk the other 2. Just whatever, shortcuts don't work. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, whether at some point it's going to come back around to you, whether it's now or it's later, shortcuts do not work. Take the road, enjoy the bumps, enjoy the speed bumps, enjoy what comes with it. Once you make it out the storm, dude, there's just nothing. Storms are always going to come. Something else is going to happen, then this happens. But as long as you make it through, dude, and keep trucking, there's nothing that can stop you. It all starts with your mind, too.
Wow.
Big mindset thing, that where people have that problem, though, right? They're still trying to figure out, or don't really know, or whatever, you know what I mean? To where when you change your mindset, flip it around, you can be that difference or change in what you see people doing or hear about people doing. You can do that. You know what I mean? So.
Wow. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really awesome. I just got like a few more questions for you.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have any advice to young entrepreneurs that are trying to get into the hypeware game, that are trying to do what you're doing?
Hypeware game. Yeah, we've been talking about, like I said, obviously we own the hype store down in Pueblo or whatever. But as far as that, realistically, the biggest piece of advice I would say is you hear it so much, so I hate saying it because it's so like played out, but don't be afraid to take those risks. Like, that's the biggest thing I can say, because I've took risks where I'm like, oh my gosh, so where I'm have my back against the wall and hope, praying that it works. But the thing is, it's that risk that you take, though, you're not just shooting into the dark, though. You have to have a target. You may not be able to see the target, but you have to have one. You have to have a goal. When I say target, I'm referring to typically like a goal in mind. Mm. You know what I mean? I'm not just shooting into the dark and hoping for the best, like putting your money in a slot machine and hoping you win. No, like I said, there's a casino for a reason. You can win money, but the house always wins at the end of the day. But when it comes to, like I said, something like that, as long as you have an idea, it's not just a random, like, oh, I'm going to try this and hope it works. Know what you're doing, find your niche, what you can do, what you can't do, and run with it. You know what I mean? You know dang well if you're good at framing houses, don't go try to build a race car. Frame a house, build it up, then make that connection to someone that does build race cars, have them teach you, now you down the road build a race car. You know what I mean? But the thing is taking that risk is very scary, but you got to do it. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you're just going to be where you're at. If you don't take a risk, then like I said, that's the biggest thing. Stepping out of your comfort zone is scary. But like I said, the biggest thing is take that risk and be comfortable being uncomfortable. Once you become comfortable being uncomfortable in uncomfortable situations, know you've been there before. And like I said, the corny thing, you've lived for this long, you made out of everything you've done already. You know, I mean, it's true. You lived as long as you lived, 24 years, and you're still sitting here alive doing what you're doing. Like, you're going to make it out. You know what I mean? Just believe in yourself, work hard. And as long as you take that risk, like I said, be comfortable being uncomfortable and get it done. It's either you're going to do it or this next person's going to do it. That's just how it is. Whether at the end of the day, whatever way you look at it, there's going to be another millionaire in this world. Whoever it may be, why can't it be you? There's going to be another one. Definitely. Some might have an easier route. Some might have a dad or a mom or pops that gives it to them. Forget that. That wasn't really earned. Given. Nothing's really given in this world. It can be, but the thing is that stupid, like I said, also saying, teach a man to fish, eat for the rest of his life, or give a man a fish for a day, run out, whatever. You know that saying that I'm talking about? Yeah. I'm sure you guys do. I didn't know. But you know what I'm talking about. That one, it's true. You know what I mean? You can give whatever, but once that runs out, it's out. You teach them something, learn how to do this, forever rolling. You know what I mean? So that's why, like I said, that thing is where that taking that risk, it is definitely scary, and it puts you in a spot out of your comfort zone, and it's more comfortable, like, oh no, I'd just rather go to work or keep my money here. You know what I mean? When you take that risk, bro, the sky's the limit. You can do a lot of stuff you would never imagine you could do. Yeah. So that would be the biggest thing, is don't be afraid to take those risks. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. And whatever storm's getting thrown at you, weather it. Come back alpha. Be ready to roll. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So.
All right. You holding any cryptocurrencies right now?
A little bit. I've dibbled around in that. That's also a thing too. That's dope. You know what I mean? A lot of people like that. A lot of people say it's hard. Well, the thing is, anything in life is hard. But the thing is, being an engineer is hard. But you take and learn about it and become an engineer. A lot of you can make a lot of money off crypto. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
If you take your time and really learn about crypto, you can be really successful. You know what I mean? It just takes time. You can dibble on and, I want to, like, just people read an article and think they know how to do crypto or trade stocks. You know, stocks have been around for a long time. It's pretty much the same thing. Of course, it's a little different, but you learn how to do that. You make a lot of money off crypto. Me personally, I'm not really I have money invested in stocks and some cryptos, but I'm not heavy into it how a lot of people are. You know what I mean? Just because why? Like I said, I know what I'm comfortable with. I know what I can handle. That's not something that I can completely trust myself. I mean, I can try to maybe give some money to someone, hey, invest it for me and do it, but I'm not in control. If I take my money, invest it into this inventory, invest it in this car, invest in it, you know what I mean? I know what I can do with this. I know what I'm going to do. I know if I invest my money in this car, I invest 10K into this car, I know what it's going to bring me back under my control. That stock crypto stuff, I'm not the best at it, so I'm not necessarily going to full-fledged unless I really learned it and took time to where I can do it. Definitely. Not watch a YouTube video and think I know how to do it. I really know how to do it, then I would do it. But as far as the cryptos, I'm like, I said, I have some money into it, but not heavy into it.
Damn.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, we need that SoCo Drip coin.
Yeah, SoCo Drip coin. That'd be dope. We can put a little shoe on there. Put SoCo. Dang, actually, we should maybe start doing that.
That's pretty fire. Hell yeah. But, is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, not really. I mean, like I said, we kind of covered a lot of it. I mean, we talked a lot about, I'd say, like kind of mindsets and entrepreneurship. We talked a lot about kind of just taking those risks and realistically, like being an entrepreneur. A lot of people want to be, not a lot of people want to work for everybody. Some people do. Some people are more comfortable with that. Nothing wrong with it. Do it. You know what I mean? Run with it. But as far as, like I said, we talked a lot about kind of like that. Is there anything else as far as even like as far as the shoe world or clothes or anything about how we brought anything like that as far as like that part that you may have questions about?
Yeah, I mean, else? I think this was a great pod, bro. Yeah. Like you fucking had me like You were really spitting some gems there, you know. And you're younger than me, so
Yeah, I appreciate
I'm like,
that.
damn, like this guy fucking knows his shit, you know. Like,
I appreciate that.
You definitely put a little gear in my back, bro. Like I want to go 10 times harder now, you know.
Heck yeah. That's what I love to hear, and that's what I love like that. So that's what I love about that. Because like I said, I know a lot of things too. I love you're around the same age as me. There's a lot of kids out there that are younger or at the same age that can do this exact same thing. I know there's some kids out there that are like this hype world stuff. There's money to be made, a lot of money in this world.
Oh yeah.
There's 15-year-olds I see doing it. I love it every single time. I love seeing them do that because they're starting young to the point to where by the time they're 20, they have 5 years under their belt. Mm-hmm. To where it's like whether even you made $1 in that 5 years, you know the amount of experience and wisdom and stuff you learned in that 5 years. That now watch what this next 5 years is going to do. You know what I mean? Be ready for it. And so that's where, like I said, it definitely, like I said, a lot of people, they want to be entrepreneurs. Like I said, even something you're doing, dude. There's again, I promise you 1,000%, it's gonna pour out at some point, whether it's good or bad. But at some point, you're gonna run into an obstacle. Nothing's ever just a gold brick road. Everybody thinks, oh, it's like start a business or do something. It's like, oh, it's just do that golden brick road. You know what I mean? Nah, you're gonna run into stuff. Whether your computer breaks, whether your mic breaks, you gotta go buy a new computer. Whether a podcast, anything, you know, you're gonna run the storms. As long as you weather that storm and really, like I said, make it out to how you want it to be, you'll be just fine. You're gonna take risks, and there'll be times where might hit the fan. Mm-hmm. But it's like I said, that's the whole fun of it. To me, that challenge, if it was easy, forget that. You know what I mean? That whole challenge, I love it. The challenge of knowing like, I gotta really work for this one. That's dope. You know what I mean? You getting people on your podcast. Right now, you're a smaller podcast. You're working your way up. Well, who goes to say, why can't you have someone like, I don't know, Wiz Khalifa on here? Why can't you have someone like Kanye? The thing is, yeah, maybe like I said that, but you have a goal to the point to where, forget if it takes 1,000 times DMing him for 2 years straight, to one point he finally DM back, hey bro, I'll do it. Now at this point you have 50,000 followers. That's sometimes what it takes, you know what I mean? Whatever that's in, like, especially like with you, whatever it takes to do it. You might get laughed out. You might get, like, there's sometimes, like, a lot of people might not do because it goes out of their comfort zone. Do it. Who cares? You know, say you wanted Wiz Khalifa on here. DM that dude every single day. Find his management team. Find out who he is. Find his high school teacher that knows his mom, that you can now message a high school teacher and message mom so you can deliver it. Whatever it takes to get to it. And that's, you know what you want. Like I said, it may be a shot in the dark, but you know you have a goal at it. And what that goal is, say you want Wiz Khalifa on this show, find his high school teacher to message his mom that maybe when he got in trouble in high school, it could message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's ways around it. Are you going to DM him on Instagram? Maybe not. He might not message back, but he probably gets 1 million a day from people. His management team, forget that. Guy's just asking. Maybe you might, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You maybe not be able to email him. But whether you find someone that knows someone that knows someone, there's always a way around it. You know what I mean? That's the difference. So, hey, I want to do my podcast. You might not be able to just DM him on Instagram, but you might be able to find out his high school teacher and his high school teacher that knows someone that can get a contact that may, you know what I mean, to where that's a whole different aspect. You know what I mean? That's sometimes what it takes to be successful in every part of the world. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, any aspect of anything you do.
I didn't really want Wiz Khalifa on here until now, bro. Yeah. Now I'm like, yo.
That would be pretty dope, huh? So Wiz Khalifa, get on here. But no, yeah, like I said, anything like that, though, that's where, like I said, a lot of people it takes more than just normally starting a podcast and whatever, starting a shoe store. And like I said, honestly, the thing is, a lot of people too, shoe stores. Selling the shoes is easy. People might say that getting the inventory, getting what we have is the hardest part. When we get the stuff, selling the shoes, selling in the store, that's easy. But getting the inventory, anybody else that knows, like I said, it's hard. It is not easy. It's not something. That's the hardest part. Is, like I said, if we're selling shoes, you gotta realize the store may look full, or store may, they have shoes, they have clothes. You know how much crap we've sold at that store? But it always looks full. That stuff we can't just pop it and vanish it out of midair. It's not a wholesale. It's not like we can go online and say, hey, order 50 more pairs of this. Heck no. Every single shoe in that store has a story of how we got it, when we got it, what we got it for, and what it took for us to get it. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah.
Every single thing. That's why that whole game is hustling. You know, every single piece of inventory, shoe, everything in that store has a story. You can pick it up and we can tell you where it came from, what it took us to get it. You know what I mean? And that's, like I said, with that store, it's not selling the stuff that's hard. That brings the people. We have a good, like I said, good support out here. Everybody out here, SoCo fam, they're dope. Love it. A lot of people love it. Getting the inventory is what's hard. It's honestly hard. It's not easy. Like, oh yeah, you may see shoes in there all the time. You know, we take to get those shoes, and you ain't finding them just simply down the street, or you can't order them online, because if you could order them online, then it wouldn't be what they are. But every shoe on there is not just, we can type in a word and order it and order 50. No, that shoe, it's a hustle to get that stuff.
What's one of the more rare items or hardest find you have?
That we've had some we had some stuff in the store. We also have stuff that we don't have in the store or whatever, but we've had pretty much, there's not really many, I can't really name many shoes that we have or had through the store. I mean, many shoes that we haven't had or had through the store.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the hardest ones, of course, are like I would say, typically, I know what's going on right now, but like the Travis Scott collabs, those are hard to get. Those aren't just necessarily something that's just releasing at finish line. You might get lucky and get them. Travis Scott collabs are hard. A lot of the off-white stuff, like the dunks weren't as hard, but like the off-white UNC ones, like I have those personally. Like the off-white stuff, a lot of his collabs with that he does with Jordan and stuff, those are harder to get, but we have a lot of those. Like we've had pretty much all those run through the store. But pretty much anything with those type of collabs, like Travis Scott, off-white, we've had some OG shoes like Band Ones and all like that stuff. Like those are more like the Supreme Dunks and stuff. You can just, if I told you to go find Supreme Dunks right now, you're like, okay, let me, I guess, go look on the internet, maybe look on Marketplace or something. Still might not be able to find them. We've had those in the store, but that's not just something that's easy to get. Like realistic, like for example, like, you know, like Mochas, UNC one. The university ones, UNC ones, the Mochas, the Hyper Royals. Those are hard to get. Those are expensive shoe, $400 to $500 pair of shoes. You don't just, they only cost $170 to get off of retail. You know what I mean? But getting those shoes is hard. I can't just right now. I couldn't just. I mean, we know people, of course, we have plugs or not, but to where it's like, oh, we can just order this shoe, or finding that shoe is even hard, because even when you go to the conventions, people know what it's worth. It's hard to get. Imagine that you have a microphone. This microphone worth $500 somehow, some way, and you take it to say a microphone convention. You know your microphone's worth $500. You might take $450. But are you going to take $200 for it? When they start selling it, there's a limited quantity. You can't just go to a store and get it, and you got it on a drop that it costs $170 to get. That's the game. That's hard. We're able to talk and get our way into it. We're able to now buy this microphone for $220 to $240 to where we can sell it for $450. But that game of getting you to sell me this microphone for $220, $240. It's a hustle, you know what I mean? Whether I'm adding this in, taking this out, it's all a hustle. You know what I mean? And that's where, like I said, that hustle stuff comes into it. Everybody, like I said, people know what that's worth. Getting it is the hardest part. You know what I mean?
Wow,
but yeah, that's where I'm saying, like that stuff's hard to get. Like the Mochas, UNCs. Can you now imagine how hard it is to get to the Off-Whites, the Travis Scotts, and stuff like that? That stuff is really hard to get. So we've had quite a bit. We have that stuff. We have a lot through the store. But all, like I said, probably like the Travis Scott drops and a lot of the Off-White collab drops, those are probably the hardest ones to get. But we usually typically get just about everything through that store.
With all the commotion about Travis Scott's, whatever, have you seen the prices or interest go up or down?
I haven't necessarily paid much attention to as far as the prices. It's hard, obviously, topic for a lot of people. But necessarily as far as prices, I haven't really seen at least much of a difference, if there is, but I haven't really paid much attention to it, honestly. I haven't really paid much attention to it, to be completely honest. I guess we can look and see real quick.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let's see. Let's see.
Do you have any of the Travis Scott Reese's Puffs?
So we have some of those. There's a bunch of dope ones people don't realize. We have like the Cos one, we have the Travis Scott ones, we have all the Wheaties of Michael Jordan, LeBron, all those. We have all but those cereal boxes are dope. Believe it or not. People buy those boxes for $10, $15. Buy for $2-3. We saw plenty of cereal boxes in that store for that price. But let me look. Let's see if these Travis Scotts have actually went down or not. Let's see. We'll go Travis Scott right here. Boom.
What app are you using?
StockX.
StockX.
So StockX kind of like not necessarily the biggest fan of them, but that's like a very well known. Anytime someone comes in, 90% of the time they compare prices to StockX. Oh, well, this is worth this on StockX. They don't really use. I mean, sometimes they use Goat. Some people, but 90% Goat is another app like StockX. Yeah, so there's Goat and StockX are probably the top two up there that are like those type of apps to where people can find prices and compare prices.
Yeah.
But actually, someone just actually messaged me. What J's you got for 151? And someone just messaged me. It's always business, but actually, now that I'm seeing right now, like the Travis Scott lows, these ones.
Yeah.
I know typically about a month ago they were sitting at like 1,400. Last sale was 1,728.
Oh wow.
So I don't know if it made them go up or.
I would think it did go up.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it maybe. Well, definitely. Well, put it this way. Well, they went up. They definitely didn't go down. Put it that way. They definitely didn't go down. So, but a lot of people, like I said, the shoe game, or people, when I say, typically when these release, they're usually like $170, right? Check this shoe out. If you were able to get this shoe, that's a $56,000 shoe. Travis Scott, people don't realize like the market.
Holy shit!
Like right here, last sale was $56,000. Speaking of how my brother's calling me, let's see. Hello. I'm on the mic, dude.
You're still there?
Yeah, you're live right now.
What about all the people that came to play basketball?
Yeah, I told them 8:30. We also do a thing on basketball, so if you guys ever want to come play basketball,
go play basketball with these SoCo Drip guys.
I'll dunk on you, trust me.
in the Travis Scott dunk.
I'm gonna play tonight. Exactly. But Clarence, we're finishing this up. All right. You got anything to say to the people?
Man, it is what it is, man.
You're so stupid. All right, bye. Tell you what.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, there's like the market, and like I said, even the older generation. That's also another thing about like as far as the store and the aspect of like how they don't understand. So when they have kids want to come and spend $500 on a pair of shoes, they say these all online they're retail at $170. Why are you charging $500? It's a language. It's literally a whole another language that.
That makes sense. Yeah,
a whole another culture to where it's hard to explain, and still people are still learning about it. But especially that older generation, like parents and stuff, they don't know or understand why their kid or whatever it is, cousin, bro, are spending $500+ on some shoes, $1,000 on a pair of shoes, $300, even $250 on a pair of shoes. What? You're gonna spend $250? A lot of people don't really realize, especially like I said, we get a lot of kids that come in there. Oh, the kids like love that stuff. I want the Travis Scotts. They come in, the parent seats $1,500. They're like, oh no, I don't know what you're looking at, kid, but that is not it. And it's definitely it's hard to like get people that like the older generation. They don't really. A lot of people or they'll ask, like, wait, so what? Like, what do you just sell shoes? And it's like, yeah, it's a clothing. I just say like a shoe clothing store, or whatever. But it's not necessarily just selling shoes. You know what I mean? There's a culture behind it. There's a lot more behind it. It's not just like a Walmart where we're selling Hanes t-shirts and we're selling. You know what I mean? It's a whole different game. It's a eat or be eaten world. Honestly, a lot of sharks. And there's so much. Like I said, you buy shoes, for example. Put it in perspective. You have, say, like I said, the Travis Scotts. You buy them for $170. Resell on those right now, $1,700. You tell me your ROI on that. Times 10. Return of investments times 10. Usually people shoot for, my grandpa always told me shoot for 30 to 40% investment ROI. So if I invest $50K, 30% of our 40% ROI, or say I invest $100K, easy numbers, 40% of ROI, get 40 back. So now I'm sitting on 140. There's some of these shoes and stuff like that to where, like I said, in this market, it's endless. You know what I mean? To where, say I invested $10K, that $10K is now turned into $100K. Say I bought $10,000 worth of Travis Scotts at retail, and I sold all of them. And my investment, I mean, it's times 10. Bought them for $170, now they're selling for $1,700. That $10,000 is now turning to $100,000 in the span of 2 weeks. Because I could sell all those right now to StockX, and those are gone.
Oh wow!
People don't realize a lot of the older generation, people running bots, people doing stuff like that.
Running bots?
Like bots. So bots is, so that's another thing in the secret game. Messes up, honestly, but kind of got to do it sometimes. Bots is pretty much like where you run different servers and whatnot to say, because a lot of these shoes are dropped on releases. You know what I mean? You can't really, it's like they're all dropped on like raffles. Well, the thing is you can only enter once. But you have bots that enter hundreds of times to where you can win more. You know what I mean? To where like, so you might have one issue. So a lot of people like sneakers, they hate it, or wherever, to where like, say it's dropping, the Travis Scott's dropping. When you have bots running, you have thousands, hundreds, whatever amount of like servers running for those shoes. So now you might, instead of me entering once and I'm probably not going to hit that shoe, people running bots, they might have got 10 pair. You know what I mean? Those are when that gets a whole different part of the game. That's you got to be able to compete. You got to know about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of bots in there, and like I said, those bots, like I said, can make you a lot of money. Say you do score that many shoes, I spent $10,000 worth of inventory on Travis Scott. That's turned into $100K, like that. I could do that. You know what I mean? The point, that's where that game, to put that in perspective, it might kind of dummies it down to where people may understand, like, okay, you see on StockX, so they're selling for $1,700, they cost $170, invest $10K worth. So you're able to even think is, you got to be able to get that much to be able to invest that much into them. But say you were to be able to invest that much, that's no matter what gonna times 10. Gonna turn from 10,000 to 100,000 in the span of a week. You can sell them all, gone. You know what I mean? So that game, there's, like I said, that market of like this hypeware and stuff, there's no limit, to be honest, at all.
That's really nice. You know, I can't think of another industry that is working exactly like the hype industry. Because what other product does that, you know?
Not a lot. Like I said, even like, for example, like the weed industry, very good industry, but still has that market to where, say, I don't know, I've never actually smoked weed. Maybe surprisingly to you guys, never smoked or drank in my life, but I know weed, say like, what is it called, an eighth or something, eighth that costs this much. Typically it follows the market of whatever it is. Well, the thing is, it'll follow the market to say you make this much money off that. Well, with shoes, no matter what, off an eighth, you're not going to, you know, off 1/8, you might be able to get, say if it's better weed or whatever, you might, I don't know, how much does the eighth typically sell for?
I'm going to say an eighth typically goes for $25.
$25. All right. That's average. Is there more expensive weeds that would,
yeah. You know,
like,
there's the cookie store right down the street
how
from
much
here.
for the eighth there?
$55.
$55, right? So now at 25, 50, that's probably some of the best weed, huh? To where like most expensive weed.
Oh, yeah.
Well, imagine now there's some type of nug that eighth, instead of costing 25 to $50, costs $1,000.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's out there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you're going to want that. You as a dispenser, you're going to want that because, you know, that's the most market. And imagine that eighth still costs you the same amount of money that it costs you to buy that $25 eighth. And it costs you, say, as I'm a company, say it costs me $10 to buy that eighth, resell for 25 numbers. I don't know what it is. Imagine if you could still buy an eighth for $10 and resell it for $1,000. You're going to want that eighth that you can buy for $10 and resell for $1,000. Same thing in that shoe world. Like I said, I don't know if there's really, I'm sure there's stuff out there, but there's not a lot. In the shoe world, there's all kinds of shoes like that. There's shoes that I already showed you worth $50,000. To where those shoes, they all sell at retail. They'll never change. That retail price is it. The Travis Scott ones are at retail $170. Those are going worth $1,700. Everybody wants those Travis Scotts, but getting them, as I said, that game, it's hard. And of course, everybody would want those Travis Scotts to resell. Can you make that much money off them? Psh, sign me up 10 times over. But getting those shoes are hard. You know what I mean? So that market, like this whole industry of the shoe game, like I said, there's no sky's the limit with it. And like I said, there's not a lot of industries like that. You know what I mean? That you can do something like that. And it's a dope industry. You know what I mean? Those shoes, when someone wears a pair of Travis Scotts or something like that, they feel dope. Like I like the ones I have on right now, love it. You know what I mean? They're my favorite shoe. Well, one of them. My Off-White UNCs are probably my favorite shoe, to be honest. The pair that I have, but it's a dope shoe. You know what I mean? I love them. I like to wear them. I feel good when I wear them. So the thing is, when someone does buy that, it's so dope seeing that someone that may have, like, they've been looking for that shoe ever, that you finally able to get them that shoe. They get that shoe and they wear it. Psh, it's the best feeling. Like, you put that shoe on, and no matter whatever that cost is, it's a good feeling. Like, man, I got this shoe. This is my shoe. You know what I mean? It feels good. There's nothing like it.
You're wearing a piece of history.
Exactly. History or whatever, like whatever it is, whatever way you want to look at it. You're wearing something, like I said, but something you like. You know what I mean? So people spend millions of dollars on cars. Some people like shoes. So that's where it's like, you know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, the aspect as far as parents too, though, introducing that part to them, it's at that point, it's kind of long gone. Just let them, they're not ever going to figure it out. They're not going to understand what the heck you're doing this and that. A lot of the parents, they don't understand. It's just the newer generation stuff. So you old people can just leave. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of people out here, you know, that are older and they have really crazy shoe collections. Because then again, Jordan back in the day was the hottest thing walking. You know what I mean? Jordan was huge. Jordan is still huge. He's even bigger now. But thing is, there's a lot of older heads that do kind of understand. They don't. Now the market of it, they're like, whoa, they're probably loving it. But there's of course Jordan fans to where they have those older Jordans. You know what I mean? To where you have a pair of those 1980s or whatever Jordan ones. When I say those are worth a lot of money, you can dang near retire off a pair of those.
Oh, wow.
So those are where, like I said, the market of it is insane now. But even like I said, there's of course older people that have crazy shoe collection. There's a lot of people you realize too, even at like we're at, they come in and you're like, wait, are you sure you're supposed to be at the cheese shop down there and not here? That, oh no, I'm here. This one I came for this. Oh yeah, I have this shoe that, and you're like, wait, what? You like shoes? And it's literally people that you would never imagine.
Really?
They walk in, you're like, oh, I think you could use us for the cheese shop down there. No, they come in
cheese
with
shop.
stuff that's like, you like shoes, you have that shoe to where it's like it would blow your mind the amount of sneakerheads we have out here. People you would never imagine either. Like I said, that's dope too. Here in Pueblo, you wouldn't know that, didn't know that.
No, yeah, I would have never guessed.
Exactly.
Wow.
We'd see, there's so many people, all ages really come all over. We have old people, younger people, whatever. There's a guy that came the other day. We had the Supreme Dunks in there. I wish I was that kid, but bought his kid $1,000. Well, it was $1,200, I believe, for the Supreme Dunks. Bought them for Christmas for him.
Oh, wow.
It was a dad. He understood the game, obviously, like of what the shoes are and whatnot. A lot of parents don't, but even at that, spending $1,200 on your kid for his, for Christmas.
He's gonna grow out of them in 2
Yeah,
years.
exactly. Then what are you gonna do? You
Yeah.
have that. That's what I was saying. It's gonna be dope. But there's some people that do know. Like I said, there was a guy that I would have never imagined too coming in and buying that shoe, especially for his son. Mm-hmm. It was a $1,200 pair of shoes for some Dunks. Bought them for his for Christmas. Hopefully, I didn't ruin his Christmas present. It's not Christmas yet, but he probably won't watch this. But
Hopefully.
yeah, so
Wow, man. Yeah, that's, this is one of the more inspirational conversations I had, man. Thank you so much for coming.
I appreciate that. Really, thank you. Like I said, it's dope. Like what we're doing. Gosh, I like what you're doing. I really appreciate you for having me on here. I'm sucked that my brother couldn't have been here because he would have been able. We're dang near. We're two minds in one. Mm-hmm. There's not. We're dang near the same people in one person. He would have been dang near saying the same stuff that I'm saying. But like I said, I appreciate that as well as for having us on here. Just a lot of people. I just want to see everybody eat. Everybody do something, because my biggest thing I hate is people that want to and see that and they want to do it. They're just scared to do it. And I was one of those people, but just me, myself, I did it. You can do it. You know what I mean? And there's one thing too. There's no shortcuts. Mm-hmm. I've tried to take shortcuts and blah, 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 but same thing. You're driving somewhere, you try to take a shortcut, ends up at a dead end. You got to turn around anyways, end up going the right way. Mm-hmm. No shortcuts. Just work hard, get through it. And like I said, there's so many people out there that want to do it or are scared to take that step to where even maybe after hearing this or just maybe a little bit more push to it to kick it up a notch. Let me grind it a little bit harder. Maybe I wanted to buy this thing, but I might have been scared but you want to buy that better piece of equipment, do it. What is it going to stop you? It's not stopping anything. You know what I mean? You want something, do it. You know what your dream is. You know what your vision is. Shoot for it. Eventually, you're going to hit that target. Maybe not be now, may not be in a year. But eventually, by time you're sooner than later, when you're shooting into the dark, you're going to hit that target eventually. Mm-hmm. And when you do, you're going to miss a lot. But when you finally hit that target, now what? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if you're not shooting no arrows at that target, you're never going to hit it. You're never going to give your chance to hit it. You're not going to give yourself a chance to hit that target. Waste of time. Shoot those arrows. It's going to suck. Some of those arrows are going to be heavier than the others. But when you finally do hit that target, like my grandpa would say, the fat lady's going to sing. And it's rolling from there.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Shoot those arrows. You never know which one's going to be the one that hits.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. All right, bro. Do you want to plug yourself and your store one more time?
Yep. So like I said, Jasiah Williams, you guys got to come check us out. We're off 5th Street, 517 West 5th Street, Suite 110 here in Pueblo, Colorado. One of the first hype sneaker stores down here, dude. Come check us out. Like I said, we can hook you guys up. We got all the dope shoes, shirts, hype wear, whatever you want. We can get for you or we already have. So come down, check us out, SoCo Drip Co. And like I said, shout out to all of our family that we consider you guys family, our fans and whatnot, and customers that come into our store. We appreciate you guys because without you guys, there's obviously none of us. And that's what we're here for, dude. It's dope what we got here, and let's keep it rolling. Come down to SoCo.
Yup. Hell yeah. All right, guys. This has been Street Champs. Thanks so much for tuning in. Last shout out Rocky Mountain Blaze. All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Out of here. See you guys.